companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
Hello, this is Israel, and I am CEO of Daydreams Interactive and author of Princess Planet. So, genius is common, and as a kid, I loved to daydream. Even as an adult, I love to daydream. And when my daughter became 6 and loved princess characters, but we just could not find the diversity that showed her, we created our own characters. So, for instance, you have Princess Nulu right here. Princess Nulu is from Uganda, and her genius is that she loves to take care of animals. She can actually even listen and hear what they say. And then we have Princess Isabella right here. Princess Isabella, she's from Cuba, and her genius is biochemistry. One day she hopes to eliminate disease. Then we have Princess Nia right here. And Princess Nia is based off of my daughter. And she is what she wants to be, the greatest dancer alive. So that's her genius. So what's your genius? My genius is my imagination. Genius is common.
I was born in a little village on the island of Haiti. Many deadly diseases pounded me. It is as if they were on a mission to end my existence on this earth. I refused to give up. In 1983, I left Haiti and came to the United States of America. And I came with $5, 2 shirts. I didn't speak any English. I came to Atlanta. I got a job. I was a doorman. I was a doorman with a dream. What I used to do, I used to come on stage. I'd rehearse this moment that I'm standing in front of you. That's the power of a dream. Maybe today is the day you begin acting as if you already have it. And then step out with full force. Take a risk. No condition is permanent. Don't let your situation distract you. You are chosen. You are called. You are born for a purpose in this life.
Over the past few years, we've seen the growth of existing and new initiatives focused on financial inclusion, building global networks, and reducing the wealth gap in response to the idea there's not enough seats at the table. Whether their outcomes are to increase the representation of Black executives on corporate boards, ensure an inclusive global economy, or to create new U.S. African commercial pathways, the strategies are often carried out by separate programs. The question is, should they be? With the continent of Africa being home to more than half of the world's fastest growing economies, the youngest workforce, over 400 companies generating more than $1 billion annually, 700 generating more than $500 million annually that are poised for growth, and being the destination of nearly $5 billion in venture capital in 2021. Diversifying U.S. and Africa commercial engagement by building bridges between African businesses and their U.S. diaspora should begin being seen as mutually beneficial. From helping to reduce Africa's enormous capital gap to catalyzing two-way trade opportunities, the COVID-19 global pandemic hopefully has taught us that global challenges and opportunities are more interconnected than we thought. During the pandemic, African companies like Unicorn Flutterwave, insurance provider Reliance Health, ride-hailing app Yasir, and 54Gene, the continent's first bank of DNA on people of African descent, proved that when African companies have access to networks, capital, and information, they grow big, grow fast, and create solutions that are valuable to the world. This is why Be Direct was created. We are the first U.S.-based but African-centric board preparedness and board search company designed to connect U.S. Black talent and corporations to African businesses. Unique and fundamental to Be Direct's success is our process of helping board candidates adapt their experience and networks to an African context before they're connected to high-growth companies that are looking to locally and globally scale. From our focus groups with African business execs and government leaders, we don't ignore the sentiment that business is easy, but people are hard. Having a pool of board candidates with hard-to-access networks and extensive experience across the business life cycle, including successfully raising capital, is table stakes for an initiative like this. So yes, we have that. But corporate or entrepreneurial success in the U.S. does not guarantee success in Africa. Developed alongside industry partners on the continent, our training program, Be Direct Prep, is designed to transpose their experience to create cultural comfort, understanding, and a commitment to helping businesses in Africa scale. Our board governance sessions are African continental and country specific, integrated with cultural awareness and dexterity training, masterclasses led by African industry execs, and mentoring and coaching from African continental-based facilitators. But even more unique to Be Direct Prep, we cap off our training program with an immersion trip to help candidates that have not been to Africa before see and feel Africa's complexity and opportunity from African soil. We all know traditional network-based board placement has historically left a lot of us out of ever really being in the paid board pipeline. Our strategy supports the work of many great organizations that are successfully filling seats at U.S. board tables by creating more tables for those that are still left on the sideline. It's time to start seeing the role and value of U.S. Black talent and businesses on the continent of Africa differently. Old perceptions and habits limit economic inclusion. Let's transition Black talent and the African businesses they will support from the periphery of the global economy to its core. Living in a global lockdown, we all know now how fast local and global economies can change, and see the value of having businesses that hire, strengthen local value chains, and even grow globally. Status quo in any form holds back progress. We must democratize U.S.-Africa commercial engagement by socially and economically connecting cultures that have long been disconnected. It's time for Africa's U.S. diaspora to redefine their global value by helping African businesses scale continentally and globally.
Hello, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. And my genius is helping women accelerate the path to success. You know, I was blessed to have strong women in my life who encouraged, motivated, and pushed me to do my best and to never even think about giving up on my dreams. So I say to women, we must show up to rise up. We have talents and potential, but who will see them if we don't speak up and get noticed? I know that women are a tremendous resource on this planet, and there is nothing more fulfilling than helping a woman tap into her full potential. I do this because I want to be a part of helping as many women as I can to show up, to rise up. I do this because genius is common.
Hi, I'm Barbara Smith. Genius is common. My genius is executive coaching and professional corporate training. As the master executive coach and corporate training ambassador for the Genius is Common movement, I help business owners craft their stories in such a way that you know exactly what they do, what they have, and what they bring to the table. Many times as business owners, we are asked, so what do you do for a living? And we could be crushing in our businesses, but we're not quite sure exactly what to say in a short amount of time. Well, I help you take those stories that are the reason why you're in business and why you're so passionate about your business and craft them in such a way that people are drawn to you as opposed to being repelled by you. Because every conversation, every time you talk to someone about your business, you are excited about it. But are you really conveying what you do, what you have, and what you bring to the table? And do really people understand why you care so much and why they should care that you have the solution to their problem? Well, I'm here to help you with that. As a master storyteller, I can help you with your stories and spin them in such a way that they are intriguing and fascinating. People want to listen to you talk about your business. That's why at the Genius is Common movement, I am the master executive coach and professional training ambassador. That's my genius. And genius? Oh yeah, it's common. child of the Most High God. He has gifted me in ways that I could not even imagine and didn't know.
There was a time when I didn't know who I was. I listened to other people tell me who I should be, what I should do. I listened to people telling me that I should be a boutique owner, that I should be a construction manager, that I should be a laborer. Have you ever felt like you should do something else, be something else, go somewhere else, be wherever you wanted to be, and you felt like you were in a box? Anybody in the room? And you couldn't get out. Anybody in the room? And you kept trying to go and you couldn't get out. Anybody in the room? But let me tell you, you need to rock the box. Rock the box.
I am engaging, inspiring, and empowering. I would give you everything I know. Just by touching you, if I could, by osmosis, give you every single thing I've learned, I've gone through, I know I would. We know that's not possible, but as it is possible, I love to share information with people.
Some of you out there, people have told you that you can't be, you can't have, you can't do. But I will tell you, like Kinston said, you can, you must, and you will.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you?
Hello?
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes.
Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Carrie Jackson, and I am your business moderator for this evening. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, California, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Today, we will be having a fireside chat with Mr. Sidney Warnsby. Sidney Warnsby is an experienced business executive with over 30 years of demonstrated success in developing and implementing strategic solutions that integrate all functions of business for solving complex and high-impact situations. He has proven results in leading and coaching teams for business startups, business turnarounds and transformations, new product development, and implementation of Six Sigma and total quality management techniques. The diversity of his career roles and experiences puts him in a truly unique position to be able to identify, understand, and resolve business issues from every perspective. Additionally, he has designed, managed, and led transformations of every function within organizations, including designing and managing local and global operations, designing enterprise-wide cost and accounting system, designing global product solutions, and leading the entry of those products into new markets throughout Asia, North America, and Europe. He is a coach, a trainer, and of youth athletes, a board member, advisor of a youth mentor and leadership development program, and a Sunday school teacher for teens in his church. In all areas of life,
He looks for ways to impact. He is committed to making a difference in the lives of others. Mr. Sidney Warnsby.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm well. So, Mr. Sidney, tell us about the name of your business, Uritus et Decus. Why did you choose this name, and what's the purpose?
It's a Latin, or it's the name is Latin. Uritus et Decus. Uritus et Decus is translated either honor or excellence for the word Uritus. A is and decus is distinction. So honor and distinction, or excellence and distinction, depending. So I chose that name in honor of my parents and the role that they played in developing who I am, and kind of the foundation of my values, which was really about being honorable in our behavior and our actions, in the way we conducted ourselves. My dad was a military a person, so he lived and breathed that concept of honor and service and duty. And then both of them, my mom and my dad, also taught us a lot about being excellent and an excellent representative of the family name, who you are, etc. And I chose that name for both honoring them, but then as well as what I try to deliver with my clients, about teaching my clients, things that they can change that will allow them to achieve excellence, and by achieving excellence, being able to distinguish themselves, from the rest of the competition.
Wow. So what's the passion, and why do you do what you do?
Well, as you saw from my bio, most of my earlier career was working with Fortune 50 companies. So the PepsiCos, the Citigroups, the JP Morgan Chases, the meat corporations, the international papers, etc. And I had a lot of great experiences, a lot of great responsibilities, taught me a lot of things about business, about what I wanted to do within business. But all of my life, I wanted to lead an organization, to have my own business. And one of the things that I started getting frustrated about being in corporate was couldn't always do it the way that you wanted to, the way that you thought clients or customers should be dealt with, or the business strategies that could or should be used to to drive things even further than they were. But more importantly, I wanted to start helping the small guy get bigger, and not just keep helping the big guy get bigger. And so my passion is really was to work with small businesses and small business owners on helping them achieve their vision, about their dream, about their organization, and giving them access to someone like me that maybe they didn't normally have access to, that would help them kind of move that vision along. So that's my why and why I do what I do. I specifically and intentionally work with minority-owned and women-owned businesses. Although I have client base that's very broad and very diverse. I initially got into it to make sure that folks from those demographics were going to have access to a skill set maybe they didn't normally get access to.
Okay. So what do you do specifically in your practice to help businesses?
I am a growth expert. So I am a business growth expert that understands all the functions of business, and which ones make you grow, and which ones are just important because they're necessary, but have nothing to do with growth. And so what I do is I work with my clients on what I call implementation of the concept of small change to big things. So I work with them first to help them understand, what are those big things? What are the big key things that drive all growth for all businesses? And then I help them to identify and implement the changes necessary in those things, around process, around procedures, around behaviors, that will drive the growth based on their company and where they are right now and where they want to be.
Wow, growing a business and doubling profit seems like a daunting task. So is it?
It's not. So it sounds like, especially when I say it to people, I can double your profits in 12 months or less, which is my bold claim. I can double your profits in 12 months or less, and I do that with a money back guarantee. And I do that without having you to spend any extra money. And so when people hear that, they're first like thrown back, like, wait a second, how is that possible? But again, it goes back to, that concept that I talked about, small change to big things. There are only a few things that drive growth in all businesses. And so since all growth comes from those 5 areas, then it's understanding what you're doing currently in those 5 areas and categories that you shouldn't be doing, or what you're not doing in those 5 categories that you should be doing. And when you identify what's not there that should be, or what is there that shouldn't be, then it's very easy to make those changes. And then because it's about behavior changes or process changes, it's quick to be able to make that decision about changing and to implement that change, and then therefore to see impact from that change. So most of success in life in general isn't that complicated. We complicate it because we try to take shortcuts and make it easy and all that other kind of stuff. So something that's straightforward is straightforward. What becomes hard is we say, well, that's hard. I don't want to do it that way. Let me see if I can do it this way. And then we start creating all kinds of trouble and problems and chaos, et cetera, for ourselves, that we're then spending a lot of time trying to get out. And so I try to clean that up for them to say, here is what's key and core. And therefore, this is what you need to do in each of these areas to be successful in this area. And this is how these things work together.
Okay. So what is the most important thing for a business owner needs to know about growing their business?
The most important thing probably comes from a self-assessment, a self-awareness, and tied with customer awareness, meaning the first thing that I tend to work with companies on, if they're an ongoing concern and been in business for a while, the first thing I'm going to work on is really cost. But setting that aside, the next thing and the first thing that I'm going to do with every startup business, and that anyone should focus on if they're trying to start up a business, is self-awareness, customer or target market awareness. Self-awareness is about understanding what's truly unique about you. And by that, I mean something that you can say about you, yourself personally, your business, your product and services that no one else can say. And when you understand that, and it's not the thing that most people say. Most people will talk about the number of years they've been in business. We've been in business for 30 years. We've been in business since 1900 whatever. And most customers, no customer could care about how long you've been in business. People will talk about other platitudes like, oh, well, we have the lowest costs. We have the best people. We do the most training. All of these things that anybody can say, whether it's true or not, and often do say, or say in ways that, well, how do I prove that, et cetera. So the most important thing from a self-awareness is to understand what is truly unique about you that no one else can say. Because if no one else can say it, when you say it, one, you're starting to differentiate yourself. And that takes a real amount of assessment, analysis, introspective look to be able to figure that out and to understand that. And then once you know that, it's not good enough just to talk about that. It's what you then need to know is what is important about the target market you're going after. And I always talk to people about pain points, understanding. You'll hear lots of people talk about understanding and focusing on your target market or your customer's pain point. What that means is every individual out there, you, me, our family members, and therefore every business also, every business owner and every business has one of two pain points, maybe both of these, but one of two pain points. They either have a problem that they have that they don't want, or a benefit that they want that they don't have. And they're all of their time, all of their energy is being consumed by those two things. How do I get rid of that problem that's festering, that's bothering me, that's hurting me, that's dragging me down, that's holding me back, et cetera, et cetera. Or how do I get that benefit that I really want, that I've always hoped for, that my life will be completely different once I have it. And if we understand their pain points and we understand what's really unique about ourselves, then what we do is show them and understand first for ourselves, but then show them how we're going to use what's unique about us to eliminate those pain points. That's the most important thing, because every other decision in the business is going to result from that. What my product design is results from that. What my pricing is results from that. What other products I could offer them or should offer them results from that. What partnerships I should have, who I should work with so that I can deliver more services or a better quality service, to my target market, results from that. Who I should hire and what skills they should have results from that. So you can't make decisions about any other part of your business effectively if you don't understand those two things, and more importantly, how you're putting those two things together to solve or resolve or eliminate those pain points. So for me, that's the most important thing, and that's what I work with them on first.
Okay.
And then let me kind of add to that in the sense that most people, if I asked 100 folks right now that were business owners, I would get a platitude. I wouldn't get that. And even as I say that, they're now probably trying to craft, and I'm going to tell you, my experience says it's still falling way, way, way short. And so, we spend a couple of weeks really honing that in, interviewing, asking them, really getting at the heart of, looking at their product and services, looking at why they got into it, all kinds of data information to understand truly what's unique about them, and then about their target market, to be able to make that put together.
Okay. And do all of these ideas about growth relate to all businesses in all industries?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, actually, all industries, all segments of an industry, all phases of a business. So whether you're a startup or you've been doing business for 50 years, whether you're a mom and pop shop or you're Citigroup and JP Morgan Chase or PepsiCo, you got to do this stuff. It's the same thing. This is how PepsiCo and JP Morgan Chase and Citigroup got to be as big as they are. They did these things in a specific way, and they've done them consistently enough over time that they're still here and still around. There are other companies in their industries that aren't, because they didn't do them as well. And so yes, these are critical things for all businesses, for all phases and stages of their business, regardless of the product or service that they deliver to their customer. And what's also important is that people think that over time it will just happen. And I've had people that have come to me saying, I want to do it, but not sure I can afford to do it right now. Look, whether you do it with me, whether you do it on your own, or whether you do it with someone else, you got to do it. Your business isn't going to grow just because you want it to grow. You got to go through these steps. And so it's important for people to understand what those things are, and then how to do them, and then to go make those things happen. And so if you're not going to do them for yourself, if you don't know how to do them for yourself, if you don't have the skill or time to do them for yourself, then you have to find somebody who's going to help you do that. And that's the only way you're going to go from here to be in a $1 million, $1 billion company.
Okay. So I've heard that most businesses fail due to lack of capital. Do you agree with that?
The answer is technically yes, that's correct. So I think the research shows that most companies, no, that's not true. 90 something percent of companies fail within their first 5 years. And most companies fail either due to a lack of capital or a lack of cash, which are kind of, within the same neighborhood, but not exactly the same thing. And so, yes, most businesses fail because of a lack of capital. However, one of the things I do is I talk to people about, and I do a workshop around overcoming funding obstacles. Why do businesses get declined for loans or for funding requests? And so I go through, here are the reasons why. Here's what they're looking for in that reason. Here's what you need to do to make sure you're ready, and overcome these before you apply, et cetera, et cetera. But then I also go to other solutions, alternative ways to get funding. And one of those I always talk about is about being your own bank. So when you're looking for funding, it's about the fact that you don't have enough cash coming into your business. And one of the things any lender is going to be looking at is, one, are you not able to generate cash in terms of revenue? And if not, then why do I want to invest in you if you're not able to generate that? And two, if you have revenue coming in and you're not managing it well so that there are no profits, why should I give it to you if you're not going to manage it well? And so they're looking for those two things. And so what I teach folks is you can become your own bank. Just like on a personal level, we want to become our own bank. On a business level, we want to become our own bank. And by that, I mean that you are going to drive your revenues high enough and make your operations efficient enough that you're driving cash to your bottom line, profit to your business that allows you to put that away and therefore become a possible source, an alternative source to funding. Now, I'm not telling folks to only then use your own cash to do things. What I'm saying is you create the environment where that's possible and that you can fund yourself. And then there's some creative ways that you can do that. There's some creative tax minimizing ways, so I can reduce my tax liability in ways that will incentivize me to being my own bank. But it gives me options. If you don't, have money at the rates that I want, that are effective for me, that are productive for me, I can go somewhere else. Where? To myself. I've got that in, these other ways. And then I can pay myself back, in ways that are tax beneficial. So, those are just, some of the ways that I tell folks that you can overcome that issue and become your own bank by actually, doing your business at a much better and higher level than what you've been doing up to this point. So yes, to your question, capital is the reason, but you can make your own okay, I don't want to say it that way because then somebody will say you're counterfeiting money. No, but you can be the source of your own capital.
Okay, so can you explain the buyer's journey and why it's important?
Oh, yes. So, and this is something, people get marketing and the concept of marketing wrong all the time. And the reality is that many people think marketing is about advertising. So when you say, do you market? Oh, yes, I have an ad on, and they start talking about, I buy pay-per-click ads and all that other kind of good stuff. Advertising is a piece of marketing. And so when you mix that up, first of all, then you start thinking, well, advertising is what I do to sell my product and services. And so now what I start looking at is every message that goes out is going out to the person that I want to buy my stuff. Well, the reality is only 1%, this research shows that less than 1%. I always round it off to 1%. 1% of all the people out there in your target market are now buyers, or what I call now buyers, meaning they're ready to buy your stuff today. 99% of the folks then aren't now buyers. But you're advertising, you're sending your messages out to that 1% and only that 1%, which means that they're not ready to buy right now. They're not listening to anything you have to say. And they're not listening to anything you have to say because you're not saying anything that's important to them because they're not ready to buy. So for now buyers, they've already decided, they've decided they need to do this. They've convinced themselves of why they need to do it. And right now, all they're looking for is the solution that best fits. And so if you're only sending information out to that person with that mindset, then you're only talking to 1% of the folks out there and you're competing with everyone else. And typically, if you're now not saying something that's really unique about you and about their pain point, they're looking at going, well, you offer it. So the only thing I can judge you on is, are you cheaper than the other person? Yeah. And now you're in a price competition and a race to the bottom. So what's important to understand is if that 99% out there are not now buyers, what are they doing and what's their mindset and how do I speak to them? They still are your target market. They still are important to you. Eventually, they will move along that journey to go from way in the future buyers to soon to be buyers to right now buyers. And so you want to be communicating to them all along that journey, and building trust and credibility with them, connecting with them. And there are ways to do that that are going to be beneficial for you near term and especially long term, because now when they get to be now buyers, they know who they're going to. They've been aware of you all this time. They've built a trust with you. You built credibility with them, and they become their first choice, or at least top of mind, that you are now going to have to convince them not to buy with you rather than convincing them to buy with you. And typically those folks are the ones who are reaching out to you. I get people contacting me now a lot where I'm going, how did you find out about me? Oh, well, I saw your post here. I went to a workshop that you had there. Somebody else then referred to me here, blah, blah, blah. So there were all of these touch points along the way where they started getting information. I've never spoken to them directly, but all of a sudden they feel like they know me. And I had a client this past week that signed up with me who said exactly that said, hey, when I saw that, I felt like that's the person for me. And I'm like, well, that's pretty good. I can't complain about that at all.
All right. Well, tell us a story or an example of change management projects that have gone right and the ones that have gone wrong.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Well, first, I guess, because there will be some people who will say, well, I thought he was talking about growth. What's this change got to do with it? Well, and one is change. Growth is change.
Growth
right?
is change.
So growth is change, but most times we think of growth very positively. Right? Oh, I'm growing up. That's a good thing. That my business is growing. Positive thing. So all of the things that we think about growth are positive in our mind. And so we are looking for it. We anticipate it. We love it. We hope for it. We wish for it, etc. But it is change. It means the world today is different than it was yesterday. And the world tomorrow will be different than it is today. And therefore you need to manage that change if you want the world tomorrow to be the world you really want it to be, that you envision it to be, etc. And so I do manage, folks in understanding that, this growth journey that we're going on, that I'm going to help you with, that I'm going to guide you through, it is change, and things are going to have to be done differently, which is why I talk to them about, it's going to be about behavior changes. It's going to be about mindset changes. It's going to be about process changes and procedure changes. So there are key things that are important if you're going to do change management. And I do a workshop where I talk about, leadership for change, etc. But if you're not doing those things effectively, then you're going to have trouble. And the ones that I'm going to talk about, one that went well, and I'm going to make this personal because I don't want to talk about somebody else's stuff, because that's their stuff, and I don't want to make it sound like I've never had bad experiences, or I never failed, or yeah, I've had some of those too. We all have, if we want to admit it. So I'll talk first about maybe one of the successes, and then I'll talk about the failure, because that's where people really want to say, see, he ain't that great. So one of, and I won't say the company, but I was given responsibility to turn around and to grow a particular business unit that was struggling mightily. And in fact, within the organization, it was ranked as one of the poorest performing units in the entire organization. But they wanted to grow that business unit and the geography that it served, etc. And so they asked me to take it over. And I love a challenge, so absolutely I will. So went in, identified what I thought needed to be done, put all the things that I talk about in terms of change management, understood what the vision was, created the sense of urgency, kind of identified the plan, identified my loyal lieutenants that were going to be the leadership for me, put things in, started putting things into place. But one of the things I identified is I really needed to to get the loyal group of lieutenants. I needed to bring in some new people to the organization who were going to have the same vision that I did, et cetera. So it took me a while to get to that piece of the loyal leadership team. But once we had that, and by a while I mean it was several months before I got that group really summed together. But one of the things that I was able to do then, after putting those things in place and implementing those strategies, I was able to take that group from being one of the worst performing organizations. I think it was fourth from the bottom, to being the number 2 group within the entire organization. And not only that, but we made and implemented changes that ultimately then changed the whole organization. That they came in, looked at what we were doing, and said, "Hey, we need this in all of our business units." And so we changed the organization. But then those things became standard for the industry based on what we were doing in that group. Now, what made me especially proud of that is that the person who brought me on to make that change, midway through those changes, got promoted themselves into another. And somebody else new came in who had no knowledge of me, no experience of me, had no commitment to me. And all that person was looking at was the numbers. Well, I'm in the middle of taking something from the bottom to the top. And so all they saw is it wasn't at the top. It was, at that point, somewhere still below average. And they were, giving me recommendations on what should be done. And I thought, no, that's not what I see. This is what I see. This is what I'm going to stick to. And they basically, in a very diplomatic way, made it clear that if, hey, things didn't change, things might change. But I was committed to it. I was committed to it and said, "Mom, this is what I think is the right way, the right approach, the right, and I'm full bore ahead. Let's make this happen." And so when I got it to that, top of the organization, and getting all this recognition at a national level and at our corporate leadership meetings, and being hailed and all this kind of stuff, that same individual came up to me and said, "Oh, I knew you could do it." Now, I know that wasn't the way that it came across, meaning that it came about, but the fact that, that person then had to acknowledge, what my successes were, made it all the sweeter. But that was an example of a transition, a transformation, a change that went well. Now, I can also give you the other one that didn't go so well, in terms of the long-term success. The short-term success, yes, went in doing some of the same things. But the critical error that I made, I shouldn't say error, I knew it was a problem, but the critical missing piece in that leadership was I didn't have the loyal lieutenants, the folks who could carry it out when I wasn't there, etc. So I always had to be present. And if I wasn't present, it wasn't happening and it wasn't moving. And so that's something that's not sustainable. And so from that perspective, the change couldn't take hold in the sense of it's going to be institutionalized. As soon as I'm removed, I know that this is not going to be there, and So that's an example, of a transformation, a change that I consider not successful, even though the initial results were, and the success were in terms of the strategies. Then in terms of the longevity and the sustainability, I'm going, no, that didn't measure up to what I would want in that situation. So it goes to how important every aspect of change management is, because if you don't do one aspect of it, it's a weak spot that allows for the crumbling to start taking place.
Yes, that is so true.
Yeah,
that is so true. So what is the most important thing for a business owner needs to know about how to grow their business?
Again, I'm going to go back to that, the understanding the, self-awareness, so I don't want to repeat myself, but I'm going to repeat myself because it is still the most important thing. If you're going to grow, you got to do that effectively first. And if you don't do that, you're going to make decisions all along the way, all along your entrepreneurial journey, all along your, owner CEO journey, that are going to be based on half truths, half information, things that aren't going to be, effective throughout your entire organization, because these things are connected. What you do in terms of, generating leads comes from that. What you do in terms of, pricing and creating your product and your designing your services all come for that. So if you're not going to do that, you're kind of fooling yourself. And whatever great idea you think you have, you're thinking about the features and the functions. You're probably not thinking about what are the pain points that they're dealing with, and they're truly are pain points that's all they're caring about. And so when you start talking about, oh, we have this and we have that and we do this and we have this one, they're going, okay, I don't care. What are you gonna do to get rid of this problem? What are you gonna do to give me this benefit? So.
Wow. Well, thank you for all the information and your expertise as you have shared. Can you please tell us how someone can get in contact with you, get connected with your business?
Okay, probably the best way is either email or direct call phone. I'm still kind of old school that way. Love to talk to folks directly, but email, you can email me at Sydney W, and Sydney is SIDNEY, Sydney W at solutionswithresults.com. Again, it's Sydney W at solutionswithresults.com. My website is also obviously solutionswithresults.com. And so you can get, contact information from me there as well. You can send me, correspondence through my Ask Sydney, section. You can also, reach out to me via phone. That's 718-791-8707. And for those internationally, that's obviously +1 in the US. But 718-791-8707. You can tell me about your specific issue. I'll give you an email response about what I think the opportunity is. We can set up one-on-one time, etc., to talk more specifically and lay out or give you some longer term suggestions about your plan and operation. So any one of those ways, happy to do it. Or if you want me as a speaker for one of your events, activities, I do that as well. So love to talk with folks and reach out. I did this on one of the earliers. I'm going to do it today, and hopefully, well, I say hopefully, maybe I was going to say hopefully I don't get bombarded, or inundated, but I do want to be. I offered for anyone listening today, contacting me today and saying that you heard me on the Black Business Network. All those things have to be there. You have to contact me today. You have to, say that you heard me on the Black Business Network, and I will then give you 1 free month of coaching. So can't beat that with the stick. So reach out. I've already given you my contact info, so if you don't have it, should have been listening.
Well, thank you, Mr. Warnsby, for your expertise and sharing and coming on the Black Business Network. We appreciate you.
I will see you.
All right. Okay. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App that's on the screen below, $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for February 2024. NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, The Hello LLC, Lotus Richey Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Barbara H. Smith LLC, 5-Star BDM Media, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Melanation Eye Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
Sometimes you got to hear the news from the Black perspective, and more specifically, Black publishers. And that's exactly why you have to download the HeyTie app, the largest mobile app delivering breaking news, videos, and podcasts from 200 of your favorite Black publishers. Yes, 200 Black publishers delivering news as it happens, literally all in one app. Go to HAYTI.com or download the app in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. It's completely free, along with information that you can trust, so go check them out.
Are you a forward-thinking entrepreneur or business owner? The world is changing faster than ever, and it's time to pivot and adapt to the future. Hello LLC is here to help you do just that. Hello stands for helping enterprises leverage leading-edge optimizations. Our innovative solutions can streamline operations, reduce overhead costs, and give you a competitive edge in a market projected to reach $5 trillion by 2030. By pivoting to the metaverse, businesses can tap into a rapidly growing market that is projected to be a significant part of daily life for 25% of Americans by 2026. As a full digital metaverse agency, the Hello LLC can help you create custom solutions to streamline operations, increase productivity, reduce costs, and drive brand recognition. Why should you pivot to the metaverse with the Hello LLC? By leveraging cutting-edge technology, you can provide immersive experiences for your customers, expand your global reach, and unlock new revenue streams. Contact us today to make the pivot.
Social media is evolving. It's more vibrant, more colorful, more energetic, and so are you. It's not just photos anymore. It's video, it's audio, it's subscriptions. And now, there's Fanbase, a new monetized social network. Fanbase delivers the complete native app experience with full content monetization for every user. No algorithms that shadow ban your engagement or growth, and no ads. Follow anyone for free and subscribe directly to your favorite creators for $4.99 a month. Plus, show some love by tipping on any post. Also, make a Fanbase page and monetize your content the same way. Finally, connect with your followers by posting the amazing content you already create. And now, get paid for it. It's time to energize and monetize. Because everyone's a fan of something, and everyone has a fan base.
Absolutely. So our coaching program help people that have the lack of time, that lack strategies, and lack the confidence to go after their dream life. So we help them implement tools. We help them implement, I love to leave the inherited lack of finances or the education behind finances. But it wasn't until I lost my firstborn, my only son, that life changed for me. And where I was going after it all, living the corporate life, hit my 6-figure income, and living in my dream house with my dream man, driving my dream car. Wow. I nearly lost it all when I lost my son. And so I realized it only takes one financial catastrophe that can change your entire life. That's what made me start All New Beginnings. Because no matter what's going on in life, there's a new beginning. And because of that, we develop a program called Wise Minded. My little slogan is, don't just dream it, let's live it. If they want to connect with you or work with you, what is the best ways for them to be able to do that? Well, for my social media guru, you can connect with me on every single social media platform as Tanya T. Wallace.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaw, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaw explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun.
Passion has been around helping communities of color and historically underrepresented and underserved communities, minority, rural, veterans, persons who are differently abled, in the intersection of education, innovation, technology, industry, and let's throw some entrepreneurship in there just for fun. More around innovation, incubators, accelerators. I love the idea of going from innovation to commercialization.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author, and at age 11 I ended up achieving this. But not only did I end up becoming an author, I ended up becoming a public speaker, a publisher, a business owner, all these great things. The name of my business is Written by Kids Publishing Company. I decided to start this company because I thought it was important for me to help kids my age express themselves through literacy and just achieve their own goals. Because to me, achieving goals is the best thing in the world to feel. It's you just achieving things and aspirations that you set for yourself. And I know that everybody is capable of this because even if you don't end up achieving the goal, you still tried your best, and that's the most important thing. And everybody is capable of this because genius is common. Thank you.
I'm Kennedy Harris. My genius is being an entrepreneur. I'm the CEO of K-Lock, a company where I develop my very own line of kids supplements. I currently market my multivitamin for kids to help combat weak immunity. During the pandemic, research has shown that having a strong immune system is key to fighting off disease. My vitamins are for kids, but adults can benefit from them as well. I'm adding a proprietary blend to my supplement line. I want to create my own blend so that I have a competitive edge in the marketplace. Staying healthy is important to me so that we live longer and have healthier lives. My website is klockproducts.com. That is K-L-O-C-K. Genius is common.
Genius is common. And my genius is nutritional strategy. I am Shawnee Smith, the owner and creator of Can Do Spice. Can Do Spice was created because I knew that adding herbal and mineral supplements to my diet did not have to be boring. In fact, because I'm a food enthusiast, I knew I could create something flavorful and explosive that also had the benefit of adding herbal supplements such as sea moss, bladderwrack, burdock root, and black seed, just to name a few. I invite you to take this journey with me where we come together and take control of our nutritional health. It is my way of sharing my genius, the gift of flavor and the healing power of herbs to the world. What is your genius?
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good morning, good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is LaShawn Wilson from Global Kids Oratory Club. I'm your business moderator for this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our first speaker is Dr. Alexis P. Weeks. Dr. Alexis P. Weeks is a distinguished data privacy expert advocating for individuals' fundamental right to own, control, and manage their personal information. With over 25 years of extensive experience, he is a senior global leader in data privacy regulation, cybersecurity, and data protection controls. His expertise spans information technology, risk management, data protection, governance, and healthcare compliance. Dr. P. Weeks has applied his knowledge across various sectors, including retail, healthcare, finance, banking, insurance, and local government, encompassing regulated and non-regulated environments. His work emphasizes the importance of ethical information handling and safeguarding personal data in an increasingly digital world. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Alexis P. Weeks.
How are you doing today, Mr. Wilson?
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
Perfect. So today, I want to take some time for us to sit down and have a conversation around, privacy in the healthcare space. For us to be able to understand, the implication of some of the cybersecurity risks that healthcare providers face. I think when we look at the landscape today, it is becoming evident that the risk to our healthcare providers across the US and globally is at risk, considering the implication of the type of data that these types of facilities specifically hold. So when we kind of go back in history and we start look at the time, and the idea is to understand, why would a healthcare provider or a covered entity, as we call it in the US, be susceptible to these type of risks? I think the first thing we need to start having a conversation around is the whole prospect of the type of data, right? Consider a healthcare provider, right? If we was to look at an organization that is in South Florida, what are some of the things that we may want to consider? Right? We may want to consider the fact that a healthcare provider within South Florida may have a set of information not only for your parents. If they've been in business long enough, there may be a situation where they may have generation of information. So consider your parents, your grandparents, your kids, and the type of information that they may be able to have. One of the things we look at it today, one of the challenges we need to be mindful of is the fact that a healthcare provider is focused on providing services to you. Their first and primary concern is not the cybersecurity risk for the organization itself, right? We want to make sure a physician is going to go, he's going to see you, he's going to look at your chart, he's going to ask for information related to your services. Why are you here? How can I help you? Where does it hurt? The first thought in that sense is not necessarily the whole process of how do I protect the information system that runs a hospital. Most individuals think of a hospital and they think of a hospital from the whole fact of, white clothes. There's doctors and nurses and many of the individuals who are providing services to you. But a hospital is more than just the infrastructure that's there. You got to consider the fact that many of the individuals who provide services for these organizations also consider the fact that in an entity today, there is multiple things. There's your process of checking into the hospital. When you check into the hospital, somebody's taking your information. They can be entering it into a system, they can be entering it on paper, and they may be maintaining that information. So how do you go through the process of making sure the information that's being provided to an entity as part of treatment is being properly managed, right? One of the first things we want to make sure is considering the type of information that you're sharing. Most entities may or may not need all of the information that they're collecting from you as part of that process. So if you consider the fact that if you're not required to share some of that information, the challenge today is that most individuals just share that information because they're thinking it is part of the process. So you walk into the institution, they ask you for your login ID, they ask you for your password, those kind of things if you're working in the institution. If you're a patient walking into the facility, they may ask you for your driver's license, they may have to pay for those services. And then as part of that process, you're filling out that paper. But are they entering it into the system immediately, or are they collecting that information and writing it on paper and they're saving that later, right? So the question is, how do you manage the expectation of the processing of that data in a healthcare facility? Most institutions that's a covered entity are covered by regulation going back to 1996. So the paper regulation that kind of dictates how the information that's collected as part of that case should be managed. There is processes around privacy rules and security rules. How is that information collected? What is the process that an organization that collect that information need to be in a process of being able to manage how the information is collected as part of that case should be managed? There is processes around privacy rules and security rules. How is that information collected? What is the process that an organization that collects that information need to be in a process of being able to manage how the information is collected as part of that?
Hello.
Mr. McGraw, how are you, sir?
I am doing just fine. I'm so glad you're here. You got started way before I did.
No worries, no worries.
We're kind of a tandem out here doing cybersecurity. I was at your cybersecurity event about a week or so ago for ISASCA. That's ISASCA. And you're running that event. And there were some very, very good topics on cybersecurity hygiene. But what really caught my attention was that for the first time ever, cybersecurity, like information security officers, are kind of in the hot seat behind stuff that may or may not be in their purview. And I'm speaking specifically around the SolarWinds incident. Are you starting to see a lot of blowback? Are there cybersecurity professionals now like, hey, if I am now being held accountable for cybersecurity breaches, what is your recourse about how do you secure your own self when you're in that type of position?
Being in that type of position, I think the SolarWinds kind of open up a lot of the discussion around security itself, and especially for the CISO role. It reminded me of the days when SOC came into place, right? Remember, it was one point after the incident where organization CFOs have to sign off on the risk for businesses. So the SolarWinds and many kind of processes that have followed some of the regulation around the ACC has kind of spoken to the responsibility of that CISO, right? What is expected of that individual? Is that individual properly prepared, or they're communicating the risk to the board, right? So what we have seen is that there's an elevation of that discussion away from the incident itself to what you know before that incident, and processes and controls that was in place ahead of time. So as we go through that expectation, I think the responsibility of the CISO has now been elevated, right? They need to have that seat at the board to have strategic discussion and being responsible, right? It is their responsibility to be able to inform the executive team of the risk. They may be responsible for being able to inform the board of that risk as well, right? And being able to just make sure that you're not going to be a magician, so you can't really see the future. But the expectation from a CISO is that you need to be able to know where things exist for you, where the risk exists, and what kind of processes you can put in place to first identify the risk and maybe at least mitigating that risk.
You know, this is interesting. I was even at an event last night, and we were talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. And overwhelmingly, the response, and we're talking about CISOs that are running governments, CISOs that are running financial institutions, some of them that are in industry at tech companies and so forth. And there is a sentiment now, like with AI now deployed, with these bots now deployed. So before you were like, you know, it was hacker versus, you know, a white hat, so to speak, right? Now you're talking about a very sophisticated machine that's like been turned loose onto your system to find vulnerabilities. Now, if you've been in place, maybe you've been in office now in that position 3-4 years, maybe it's 3 or 4 months. Are you now being held accountable for cybersecurity? Maybe it's patchwork that wasn't done. Maybe it was a human error. But now with such sophistication from an AI-driven algorithm, it's a lot of scrutiny, and there's a lot of people like, are we driving people out of the industry, or are we bringing people into the industry because of this new reality of unleashing artificial intelligence onto these cyber, or I should say digital infrastructures?
You know, I think it's twofold, right? There is some indication that I'm seeing in industry that there is more awareness being created. So when I look at it from the adoption of AI in terms of the ability to do that, when we consider the fact that most individuals and organizations, the whole intention is to be able to find vulnerabilities. The benefit of AI is twofold, right? So on the good side, if you are the one running the AI, you can find those weaknesses before the adversary find them. So that's one of the benefits that I see in terms of the adoption of technology in industry today. The drawback of that is an adversary also can use AI against you to find those vulnerabilities if you're not in yourself taking the steps to be able to find those. So like any technology, it's about adoption. It's how it's going to be used and how it's going to be exploited and how it's going to be used. The expectation is that as an industry, we need to be able to balance the play between those individuals who are trying to exploit by balancing that act for those individuals who have the knowledge to learn the tools and also use the tools in their advantage to be able to find those vulnerabilities. So it's like a cat and mouse game all the time. You know, the adversary is going to constantly look at your network and find weaknesses within your network. So if you are not in yourself finding those weaknesses, then you're playing catch up, right? So you constantly find yourself being in that situation where you're always trying to catch up with the adversary, who more than likely going to have more time, more tools to be able to throw at you. What we are seeing in industry today is that there's that expectation where you as a CISO, the conversation in the past used to be very difficult about getting funding, right? Because most, from an industry perspective, we typically operate in this reactive mode, right? How many organizations have you seen that goes out there and they find $5 million after an event? Yeah. Right? So the board is going to come back now and say, hey, Grant, we just find $5 million to be able to give you for this program that you've been trying to run for a very long time. So what we are seeing is that instead of us being reactive, the intention for the industry going forward should be more reactive, right? So we can think ahead of that. Instead of just reacting to something, we have to be more proactive. And think about the fact that, like I've always said in the past, you're going to get breached. Yeah. It's just a matter of how are you going to be able to respond to that. I think with the advent of AI and some of the vulnerabilities that we're seeing in the marketplace today, I think there's a big effort now. So the task of the CISO, I think it's a little bit more easier because they can now go to the board and say, hey, here is what we see in the industry. Here's the research. Here is why we need to go and make that investment.
No, you bring up a good point,
right?
Dr. Alexis, and I like that. So if I were a CISO and I'm taking on a position, probably the first day one, I'm going to deploy a assessment So I know what my vulnerabilities are because, and I learned this last night, which was kind of amazing. And they said for every 1,000, let's say 1,000 codes. I mean, so when a software engineer has developed code, for every 1,000, there are 50 vulnerabilities. For every 1,000, there's 50 vulnerabilities. So when you understand what some of these have millions and millions and millions of code lines, and you understand that is like the breach landscape is humongous. You've got to then be able, especially if you're going to be held accountable for what did you know prior, taking on this position, so that as you get into the board meetings and you say, okay, I know we're vulnerable here and here as far as from a tool set standpoint. So I guess my question comes down to, are there now tools that allows a CISO to get that type of information in a reasonable amount of time to do an assessment so he can present that to the board in a quickened pace in this day and age?
Yes, I think even some of the AI tools, there are some vulnerability AI tools that's available that would allow you to be able to run an assessment in the first few days of being in your organization. I think one thing that's going to be key for that person coming in is, like we said, you have to be able to get that lay of the land, right? What does your infrastructure look like? I think the first thing that new CISO coming in need to understand is, what's my data footprint? What type of data do we collect that is at the center of the organization that we're running? Where does it exist? And has it been classified, right? Because you can't protect what you don't know. And that's what happened with many organizations today. We get so large that there is this system that just keep running and it just keep growing. And what is happening is that if you don't have an appropriate way to be able to map back to that data set, you won't really know what you have. So when you start looking at the risk, if you have an incident, what is the impact to the business? If your data and your databases and everything is not encrypted and you don't have the ability to detect anomalies across your network, there's data walking through your network every day. It's like, interestingly, I was reading an article today where a healthcare provider, it was assumed that an adversary moved 6 terabytes of data out of their network, right, through a recent security incident. And the question is, you would ask how, right? How do you not detect 6 terabytes of data moving from your infrastructure?
Yeah.
Right. The idea behind that is that the whole process, the tunnel can be mapped, right? So it's not everything that is as open as you may see. So now I think there's a lot of process around like user behavior analysis to look for like anomalies across your network. Because first of all, remember we always talk about the stages of the attack, right? The first part of that attack is just to get in. That's just the easiest part, that they can get in, get the lay of the land. But the most important part of that attack is the payload that needs to come in, right? Because it's like you're walking through the airport, right? When you go on a travel, you check your bags in. And then you walk to security, maybe with your briefcase, or you have a smaller item. So if you were to get to the point where you get in the plane and then you can go to your bag, everything may be there that you need. So you think of it from the attack is the same way. Once they're able to exfiltrate your system and get in, they need to bring that payload in. And then once they get the additional tools that they need, then they can maybe set up that secure tunnel to move the data out. But like we've said, over time, the data is moving in that large quantity. It takes time to move that much data.
Yeah.
So that amount of data had to be moved over time, and maybe they're just masking the channels for networks that you transfer data on anyway, right? So you may think of it as a regular process in your day-to-day operation, but it takes time. I could imagine that CISO being in that situation probably going to have a lot of war stories about having discussion about investment that was required, right?
Yeah,
that was never materialized. Right?
You got to get the amount of budget. You got to let people know ahead of time. I know if I were a hacker, I would target companies that are going through transitions. Like, you know what, this CISO, just left the business. There's going to be some time before the new CISO gets in place, understands what's happening. You're hoping that, that the doors aren't just left wide open. But as you told me so aptly long ago, is that when you're in this type of position, you got to not look at who's coming into or outside of the organization, but who's also within.
Yep.
Because who has access to the bank, so to speak? Who has access? You've got to look at your individuals who has the ability to do certain things, and is that an opportunity for someone to exploit or not? I've heard of some of the major breaches, especially like in the hospital world, that when they trace it back to like how this happened, it traced back to the human element, an employee. Like, wow. So I say that to say this: you're in Cyber Minds. You're educating the population around cybersecurity. The thing that I like to see, and I think that's necessary, is that we need to have an intentional effort, a campaign around cyber awareness from our K through 12, through our collegiate ranks, to our postgraduate, into the workforce, because this is so important that you can't just expect the small team of cybersecurity professionals to be cyber aware and having 90% of the entire workforce or the population at large not being cyber literate. Would you agree?
No, that's definitely a point. When you consider the fact that we've always taken the approach of Cyber Mind that risk itself, everyone plays their own part, right? It is not just up to the security team and the technical team to protect the organization. Everyone, from the security guard, from the person that cleans, to that individual within your organization, play a part. Because sometimes the simple things that looks out of place can be easily identified. Right? When you think of it like banking today, many organizations used to think that you go into a bank, you break into a vault, and you just take the money. Those days are gone. Individuals are not just walking up to a bank, blowing up a safe and taking the money. They're getting into those systems, compromising the SWIFT architecture, and then being able to move millions of dollars through the same network that a traditional bank would utilize. So I think you addressed in the conversation in the past around the whole process of that insider individual. Most organizations that get compromised, they're compromised because of access issue. So whether it was intentionally or not, or the adversary is able to compromise an account that had privileged access to a system that has sensitive information. So one of the things you need to be able to do is to detect, like I said, anomalies and small changes. So like, why is Grant logging in certain times of the day? Right? You can time zone specific access to your network. You can set criteria around the type of access that account can have to your infrastructure. Right? So you can isolate it where you're not using your general account to log on to the system to do work. Right? So in that sense, you're in a position to say, okay, if Grant's account is compromised and it's his general account, that's okay. But if it's his privileged account, then we have a problem, right? And if his privileged account is compromised, what is the length of time during which that account is allowed to be compromised? Most organizations, if you have a privileged access management system, that account may be limited to 24 hours. So you can limit what access that account can have at that time. So it's not one of those accounts where you have a privileged account or service account that never changes. So you don't never change your service account password. It's been there for many years. Everyone who's in the organization knows it. And individuals who are no longer working for the organization also knows that. So even when individuals leave the organization who's in privileged positions, sometimes those privileges are not changed. So you may see instances where somebody have left the organization and they still have access to your system. They can still come into the VPN they can still get into your organization. And now many organizations are doing a great job of trying to protect their infrastructure, but then sometimes we miss the fact that vendors and other third party have access to those same sensitive information. So the protection of the compromise is not just on your infrastructure that you manage, but it's also going to be the infrastructure that it extend to the provider that does the billing. If they need to do billing, they need access to the EMR. If you think of it from a healthcare perspective, and what is in the EMR? Everything around you, because they need to know the ICD-10 codes that is required for each procedure. So there's a cost associated with those codes. If you don't do the right codes and billing, the whole system is messed up. So by nature of that vendor's access that is required to do their job, now they need to have access to sensitive information. As a covered entity, you need to start thinking, okay, what is the process for that entity that have access to your sensitive information when somebody leaves, right? How do they handle offboarding? How do they protect the safety of their infrastructure? So it's not just yours now. You now have to be responsible for every organization that now connects up to your network. And you have to think about the same level of security that you would put in place in your organization. And you have to expect that they're doing the same, but not just expect it. You have to have a process in place where you can audit and validate that they are doing what they say that they're doing. And then just test them. Maybe you go out and get a pen tester, and as part of your agreement, for your service level agreement and the contract, it allows you to test the capability of that provider, right? And see if you can break into their network. Because if their system is compromised, now there's access from their system over to yours.
Yeah.
So when, as a CISO, your perspective needs to be much broader than just protecting your infrastructure. It needs to be protecting everything that connects up to your infrastructure, every application, every API call, every vendor, everyone that you're allowed to connect in. Even you go to a hospital and they give you access to a Wi-Fi. That network needs to be segregated. You can't have the Wi-Fi that somebody's connecting with their phone to go do social media, the same one that your EMR and other types of your network is in. But if you have a flat network, it's one and the same, right? So an individual can connect here, compromise, and then kind of jump. So, the responsibility of that CISO or anyone within that role need to be much broader. They need to be mindful of how do we protect the infrastructure, and it's a trust and verify approach. Everything is a risk. You think of it from a zero trust. You don't trust anything unless you can verify it, and then you still need to have secondary control for those who is authorized to access your system.
This is so important. I want to switch the conversation just a little bit, because we have a lot of small business owners, entrepreneurs listening in. And a lot of people are listening to, oh yeah, but I'm not a large enterprise. I don't have, I have not hired, I don't have a chief information security officer. It's just me. And I'll tell you this just happened to me this week, matter of fact. I got an email, and the email said something to the fact that, there's a subpoena out for you. You need to respond to it right away. You've been involved in a lawsuit in which there was an accident that occurred, and that we need you to respond. And this is from State Farm. They had all State Farm's information on there. They had an 800 number on there and everything to like. And I'm looking at this, and first, of course, anything legal like that, you're starting to feel that tension. You're starting to feel a little nervousness, like, well, what is this all about? Why, who, subpoena, what? So you want to find out more. And as I looked at that, I remember me saying to myself, what are they asking me to do? And why is this? And then I started to really look at it and say, okay, my company doesn't own a vehicle. Why are they referencing my company, right? And then I started to see the number. So I called the 800 number, because I'm like, no, I'm going to call this number. I'm not going to click on anything because there was an attachment. So I call the number, and it does go to State Farm. So it's State Farm. I could tell they have their 800 number, but they don't know anything about what I'm talking about. I got a regular person, in their contact center. And then I really start looking at that email, who it actually came from. And it was not from State Farm itself. It was something else. However, this was just a little bit of code. It's like 200 kilobytes, and I could tell. I never opened it up. But again, it's so easy to get compromised. Help our small business owners and even entrepreneurs and individual users, especially when it comes to email compromise, how sophisticated these type of attacks are becoming to get you to do that knee-jerk reaction to open up and then allow, the fox into the hen house.
So, and I think AI is just going to make that worse, right? I think, especially for small business, I think one of the things we need to be mindful of is the mere fact that these types of incident creates a sense of urgency. So that's first and foremost. If anyone is asking you to do something immediately, that's what they're hoping that you would do. You would take action based on that sense of urgency that the emails create. So with the State Farm example that you gave, if you had State Farm, you may be one of millions of people that receive that, and you just happen to have State Farm, right? If I have Progressive, I would have just deleted that because I don't have State Farm, right? So they may or may not know that you have State Farm in that sense. So what they do is, because they create that sense of urgency, there is key things that they may have gathered. They may have maybe compromised a location where you had a reference to State Farm. So they know that you have State Farm. And then in this case, you just happen to have State Farm, and the 800 number that you're getting, that email that came to you, went to State Farm. But you did the most appropriate thing. You actually didn't take action there. So what they may ask you to do is to log on to your State Farm account or other accounts from that compromised or the phishing email. So like they always say, if you get something like that, you don't log in from a link that's there, because it may be an option to just capture that information. So let's say you had an accident. So they create that sense of urgency, and you're like, I want a business, and one of my employee or somebody was in an accident. So that sense of urgency gets created. But being able to sometimes just sit back and then just think about it. Just say, okay, if I had State Farm, did it come from an official State Farm address? So we always talk about being able to do that mouse over, right?
Yes.
Who is it coming from? Because State Farm, you would have to at least come from a State Farm address. But even if it did come from a State Farm address, you would still verify. So when you click on the link, before you even click on the link, just start looking and say, okay, where is it taking me? But in the back of your card, you have an 800 number like you did. So you call them and say, hey, what is this request? Because normally State Farm would call you if you had an accident. Normally you call them, because they don't have an indication to know that you just happen to have had an accident, right? Unless you have one of those trackers that you put on your car, and I know you're not going to do that as part of some of the insurance reduction discount program that they have.
Yeah.
But that is what happened. Like recently, at our conference that we had 2 weeks ago, I think one of the speakers was talking about an example that was similar to that, where somebody called and said, hey, your 26-year-old just had an accident, and the person was a pregnant person that you got an accident with, and they had to go to the hospital, and he's going to get arrested. And they created that sense of urgency. And she's like, you're in this business, but when you get that call, she's like, I went into this parent mode. I wasn't thinking about all my years of security and research that I've done. I was thinking about my 26-year-old son getting an accident where the person on the other end of that was a pregnant woman, right? And he was going to be arrested. So like she said, in that case, I was like ready to just do anything. And then she said, her husband just said, why don't you just call your son? And then she called her son, and he's like, hey, mom, how are you doing? Yeah. And he's there playing video games, right?
Yeah, right.
But I'm saying, in that moment when you get those calls, that's the intention, is for you to be so concerned about the incident that your things that you would regularly do, you're no longer going to do within that time when that call come in, right? So that's that sense of urgency that it creates. Same thing when you hear the one that say, hey, Grant, we have this deal we're trying to do. I just sent you this check. I was going to deposit it, but something was wrong with the account. Can you verify your account? And then you give that. Now you just authorize it. Or they send something where you get a code and it looks like it came from the bank and say, hey, I'm calling from the bank. we just sent a code to do something. Please provide me that code.
Yeah.
When they already compromise your account, but as part of the ability to change that system, they need to be able to get that code from you, right? So for that purpose is when you need to understand some of these things. You just need to be able to ignore them when they come in, and be mindful, especially as a small business, because a compromise for a small business can be significant, right?
Yes.
Imagine you've taken many years to build a family business or a small business up to this point. One incident can wipe out generation of money that you don't have to be able to pass on. So it is important for especially small business who may not have the resources or means to be mindful of those things. And that's why we started Cyber Minds, right? Cyber Minds was determined to be able to kind of work with those nonprofit and small organizations, being able to do awareness and training and education just about the same thing that you just discussed. And that's the intention behind why we wanted to, as a group, go through the process of trying to put this organization together to be able to do that.
I'm so happy that you are doing that, because anybody can be taken in by certain things if they know enough information about you, as you stated, something that's emotionally, you have an emotional connection to. So you immediately jump, because if it's your daughter, it's your mom, your dad, someone that's close to you, that type of thing. Or like I said, some kind of, it's affecting immediately your financial status, your legal status. You're like, whoa. But today's world, you've got to be able to have some patience. You teach these things. So tell us how, what do you have in place now? How do we get in touch with you? Not just get in touch with you, but how do we participate with Cyber Minds to get more cyber aware, which I think is so important?
So from a connection perspective, you could always reach out to us. We are on LinkedIn, Cybermind Research Institute. We're also on cybermindinstitute.org, which is our company website. And they can reach out to you or to Dr. Kelly, to this organization, and reach us anytime. And we're more than happy to be able to come in and set up sessions and work with organizations who really need it. And we know they may not be able to have the finances, but whether there's through grants or opportunities for people to be able to volunteer their time, we're always available to help.
Excellent. So we got someone that just joined us. You got some questions for us?
No, but I just wanted to thank Dr. Alexis P. Weeks for coming on the Black Business Network, and really appreciate you for being here.
Awesome.
Well, great. No, thank you, Dr. Alexis. I'm glad I was able to jump in. I think we just shared some very, very important information, because we all touch all of these different digital devices, and we've got to be aware of how to actually drive in this digital ecosystem. Understand, just like in the real world, somebody's going to run a red light, somebody's going to do something outside of the rules of the normal road that's going to cause you problems. And just like if you get involved in an accident, it's gonna be impactful for you, the person in the accident, and everybody around you. And there's so much at stake now in the digital world. As I tell people all the time, if you lost your phone, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to try to get another one. That means it's costing you a lot of money, because your data is so important to you. So it must be important for you to protect it. And I'd like to see the generation, like we have Mr. Leeson here, understanding in the social media world, this mobile compute world, and all these different things. You've got more in your phone than just your pictures. You've got your identity, and you need to understand how to protect it. I hear it all the time where somebody says, oh, my Facebook is compromised. Oh, somebody hacked me on this and that. Like, how is that happening? I don't know, Lisa, do you experience these types of things of being cyber aware?
Yes, I sometimes do, but I find my way around it. But yes.
Well, Dr. Alexis, please speak to this generation to help them understand, just because they're on a mobile device, what they could be exposed to, from a cyber situation?
Yeah, definitely, Grant. I think when you consider mobility now, right, your phone is a lot more than just your phone. I know if I lose my phone, I can't log into my bank or other places because unless I get a new one, because many of the things that I have M&A, multiple factor authentication, whether they image ID or a PIN that's associated with it. So being able to lose your device becomes a challenge. So you don't want to lose your device because it becomes part of your life.
I think Lisa wants to get rid of us.
Well, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
You're welcome.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the cash apps that's on the screen below. $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. NC through 100, Moody Capital Partners, Sweet Soul, 5-Star BDM Media, Lotus Ritchie Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Hello LLC, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Marlene Shanai Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Businesses, Surfaces, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and of course, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
How you doing? I'm Rodney Allen Rippey. Yeah, the child actor. Well, now, leading man. Some of you might remember back in the day, the Harlem Globetrotters popcorn machine. Remember that? Well, it was a Saturday morning special that would come on, and I was there with Geese and Tex and Meadowlark Lemon. Remember the show? Well, I had a great time. And I have to say a huge, huge thank you to all my fans out there. Thank you for all the years of support. I went on from the entertainment industry. I started getting into producing and directing. And now, hey, here I am. I'm a studio executive here in Burbank, California at 2526 Studios. I have to say, it's been pretty good, but the best is yet to come. Please stay encouraged. Keep reaching for your dreams and never forget that genius is common. Remember that. Genius is common. No matter what anyone says to you, no matter how tough the road may get, keep striving. Keep reaching for your dreams. And always know that you are worth it. Everything that you put into yourself, everything good that you pour into your life, you are worth it. And when the times get tough, when things don't go exactly right, it's okay. Dust your shoulders off. Stand up strong. And remember, genius is common.
So what we have to do is when we get in a spot, we need to create some spots for us. That's the main thing. We need to be able to be in a position where we're able to create those spots for us. For me, being an entrepreneur, I'm not just going to get a business and then leave you sitting high and dry. If you ask me some questions about entrepreneurship, I'm going to give you as much as I received. I've seen people who made it, and then when you ask them, it's like, okay, now you have to pay me for the information, the same information I got for free. We probably in totally different cities. There's no way that we're going to bump heads or anything. We're not competing. Bring me up with you. And so I just think that whatever education that I have, then I need to be able to give that to my own as well. So create the spots. You can create the spots when you get there.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know? A student, a business entrepreneur? Or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be losers, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
Artist to me is a creative expression of something from nothing. You know, it explodes onto the canvas, or it explodes on in my work. One of the things that I try to do more than anything is I try to just give the lines and the movements and emotions and expressions into what I do. Art really means to me a chance to express how I feel deep down inside. Most of my art begins as a thought that I might have, you know, whether it's sports, whether it's history, whether it's a woman or a man. It pretty much starts as an idea of thought before I get into the actual image of what I'm going to draw. I do a lot of historical pieces. I was a history minor in college, and I love to do history pieces. And a lot of times I'm thinking about history, and then I try to make that history impact you as you look at it. That's one of the reasons I do pictures so large. People ask me, why do I do the pictures so big? And I tell them, I want the piece to impact them as they're looking at it, to kind of dominate them, dominate their space. And most of my pieces I try to do off page. I don't try to do anything that's going to be in those four corners or in a square. And I want your imagination to be a part of the piece that you're looking at. I am from Washington, D.C., but I was raised in Durham, North Carolina. I came to Durham when I was about 5 or 6, and then I traveled back and forth to D.C. because it's where my people are from. One of the unique things about my family is my mother, she's also an artist. She does quilting, and she does a lot of artistic things. And then my son, he draws with both hands, his right hand and his left hand, like I do. So that's kind of a family trait. And then my other son, he's a videographer, and my daughter, she works, she's a regional vice president for Sunglasses. When you start out drawing and sketching, you want to continue to explore, you know, each avenue. I do pastels, I do pen and ink, I do painting, I do acrylics. I haven't done oils yet, but I try to do all facets of art. What I say to a lot of times to people is, you know, you can't put yourself in a box when you're an artist. You have to explore. And over the course of my life, I've tried to explore different mediums. I also do sculpture as well. I choose my subjects by the intensity that they have in their faces, or the intensity that somebody is moving, because I do more than portrait drawings. I also do I do abstract, and then I do figurative drawing also. Well, what happened in this particular show is that I started out trying to come up with something that would be a little bit different than what everybody else is doing. So I was working on a Barack Obama show, and they wanted me to do some paintings of Barack. And so what I did was, because of the deadlines, I kind of did it kind of fast. And then I realized when I was doing it fast, I enjoyed it. And so then I started doing other pieces the same way, and I started to enjoy those pieces also. And so I came up with this particular style. And it's a style of lines and colors. And what's interesting is that when I was in college, I did a show called Lines, Colors, and I talked about the boldness of the blacks, the hotness of the whites, and this is how this is come about, later on in my life. And the colors comes from a lot of the entertainers that I work with, where they wear different colors. They don't wear, your plain reds or your whites. They wear different colors, and so that's also another piece of what's giving me the colors. The subtitle of this show is Faces That Speak Life. That's real critical. Faces that speak life. Each one of these pieces is a life source and a life energy that's being put on display for people that are looking at it. I always say in terms of my art, it's not important that I draw them. It's important what you get out of what I draw. I don't try to just draw it because you like it. People wanted me to do prints. I didn't do prints. People asked me to do different people, but the people that I choose are people that make a difference in the lives of people in the world. So the human landscape idea was, again, as I say, the lines represent your emotions, it represents your ideas, and it represents your journey as a human being. And that's why you get the different pieces and the different looks. And as you notice, I try not to do one look that looks alike another look. And that's what's the most important part of this show.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World, a veterinary clinic in Hopton, Connecticut. His patients include dog, cat, frog, fish, Goldie, dog, and this alpaca. Due to doctor-patient confidentiality, we can't tell you their names. Business at Vet World was steady, and then quarantine hit. Neighbors brought new four-legged friends into their homes. Bunnies everywhere. Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients with open arms. The only problem? There were more appointments than he could manage. That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers spending potential that's built for his changing business needs. He decided to hire a new assistant, Julio, and with spending power built for business purchases, he used his card to furnish a new exam room. Together, Dr. Petsworth, Julio, and American Express Business made sure all the pets of Hopton got the love and care they deserve. And everyone was happy. Get the card built for business by American Express.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaugh, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaugh explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun.
Did you know that approximately 333.34 million businesses exist today, according to a report from 2021? And you may be one of those businesses, or maybe you're not in the business market yet, but you're aspiring to be a business owner. Well, guess what? You're in the right place at the right time. Because let's face it, everything is about timing and opportunity. Hi, my name is Dr. Lotus Richey, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Lotus Richey Coaching and Consulting LLC, along with the Lotus Richey Ignite Show.
15 Minutes of Success with Dr. Lourdes Richey, as well as books to boom your business and bring who you are. And today, I want to bring this amazing message to you about the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. See, the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics is designed to help people just like you, that's right, that look like me, to take their business to the next level. Not just in your front yard or your backyard, but globally. The Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics is designed not to just help you survive, but to help you thrive. So join us today as we come together with businesses all around the world to support our students, our children, our young teens, our young entrepreneurs. What we do is we come together to help raise funds for students who are aspiring to be business entrepreneurs, who are aspiring and who are thriving in college. We endow them with a wonderful opportunity to gain scholarship of either a laptop or several thousands of dollars. And we invite you to help be a contributor to this amazing opportunity to help someone that looks just like you. So join us today at our website and let us connect with you and help you ignite and take flight in every area of your life on the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. I'll see you on the other side.
I would like to bring back to the stage Dr. Alexis P. Weeks for another insight on cybersecurity. Geniuses, come on, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hello, I am Dr. Eric Kelly III, the visionary strategist and founder of the Black Business Olympics. I invite you to showcase your Black-owned businesses on the Black Business Network global stage. The Black Business Olympics is a global Black Business Network platform that propels Black-owned businesses into the international spotlight. By showcasing your business on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can reach a worldwide audience of potential customers, partners, and investors. You can also establish yourself as a thought leader, an expert in your field, attract lucrative partnerships, and more speaking engagements. In addition, the Black Business Olympics platform provides a valuable opportunity to connect and collaborate with like-minded entrepreneurs and business professionals from around the world. This can lead to new business opportunities, ideas, and relationships. Finally, by sharing your story and expertise on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can inspire and empower others. This is a powerful way to make a positive impact on the world and leave a lasting legacy. If you are a Black-owned business owner, I encourage you to seize the opportunity to showcase your business on the Black Business Olympics platform. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make an indelible mark on the world. Be one of the 1,000 visionary entrepreneurs who are changing students' lives, shaping industries, and leaving an unforgettable legacy for their families. Unleash your voice on our global stage and watch your business thrive. Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Yes, the entire world. Just give me a call today at 919-308-9090.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is LaShawn Wilson from Global Kids Oratory Club. I am your business moderator for this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its businesses' knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Dr. Alexis P. Weeks is a distinguished data privacy expert advocating for individuals' fundamental right to own, control, and manage their personal information. With over 25 years of extensive experience, he is a senior global leader in data privacy regulation, cybersecurity, and data protection controls. His expertise spans information technology, risk management, data protection, governance, and healthcare compliance. Dr. P. Weeks has applied his knowledge across various sectors, including retail, healthcare, finance, banking, insurance, and local government, encompassing regulated and non-regulated environments. His work emphasizes the importance of ethical information handling and safeguarding personal data in an increasingly digital world. I would like to bring back to the stage Dr. Alexis P. Weeks for another insight on cybersecurity. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
How are you doing, Mr. Wilson, sir? How are you?
I am quite all right.
Awesome. So I think before we got disconnected, I think we were having a session around, how do we work with the youth today and what are some of the challenges that they face? I think one of the things that I see in the marketplace today is, I think the generation today, they are more mindful of sharing data. So they have a tendency to what I call overshare their data, and that may or may not get them in trouble sometimes. Today, I think as we kind of go forward in this industry of, the value of data, understanding what we should do and not do, one of the things that we always talk about is the whole process of being mindful of what you share. I think on the last session, we had a conversation with Grant around, small businesses and what are some of the steps that small businesses should take to be able to, implement appropriate security safeguard, because we understand that a small business, because of a lack of resources, may not be in a position to have a CISO, may not be in a position to have, software or applications or other things. But one of the things that we always indicate at Cyber Minds, hey, Regina, how are you, man? One of the things we always try to be mindful of is the whole process of, the implication of a small business. What are some of the challenges that small business face? I think there are many small businesses today who's taken the mindset that they're too small, right? They're not going to be attacked. But one of the things the research is showing is that small businesses are very susceptible to those same type of attack. So imagine if you have a small business, you have a contractor that's coming to do work for you, and as part of that process, you need to wire that information. They may have set up information in the banking and routing information. Imagine if that is email. Now imagine if someone happened to compromise your account and went in and changed up that information to their information. And you as a small business needing to pay this contractor went through the process and execute that payment, only to come and discover later that you send it to the wrong person. How do you deal with that? Or imagine if you're a small business and as part of that process of paying a contractor, you going through the process of, as we would say in the business, of giving away that money. And Regine, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good, and you, Dr. Alexis? How are you?
Pretty good. So, in our first session, we were talking about some of the implication of small business, right? You work for an organization that try to address some of the risks for small businesses. If you can take some time, tell us about yourself, tell us about your organization, and what you're doing today to try to address some of the risks for small businesses.
Awesome. My name is Regine Bonneau. I'm founder of Advisory. We're a cyber risk management firm here in Orlando, Florida. And we work with from small to mid-sized to large corporations and providing them with cyber risk management services such as pen testing, vulnerability management, documentation, right, which we know nobody likes to do, right, which is programs set up. And also some of that is also assessment of their team and also advising the team on exactly what it looks like as they're putting maturing into their cyber security journey. So really, we work with some large corporations as a supply chain risk or third-party risk management, and then to help them assess their vendors as well, but doing it in more of a holistic way of looking at the business as a whole, just what they're doing for you, because now we're so interconnected that at any given moment there's sharing of data and information. So we help them classify and tier that as well. On the small business side, the more we do a lot of education and information sessions, right? Because that's the first bout of them accepting and understanding. Because what we've seen is they know it's there out there. It looks like it's like this umbrella. Oh, it's not me, it's the big guy. And I will tell you, it's still the same mindset. Although we can hear the stats, the statistics numbers, a lot of more than 70 to 80% of breaches now stems from a supply chain, right? Supporting a large corporation. Imagine if you don't have everything that you need in order or have a strong relationship to show how you can come back and be resilient. So a lot of our work with them is educating, providing the information, providing factual information, right? There's nothing to scare you. We don't scare people. We tell you facts so you can make a business decision, right? And that's how we operate. And once they understand where they sit and also understanding clearly, again, their business, where they go, who their clients are. And in so doing, we're able to help them see the need of the client and what are some of the regulation requirements they have to follow in order to support their client as well, and help them understand and putting together their cyber risk management program. Again, cyber is large. However, every business is susceptible to it. So they have to understand that. It doesn't matter how small you are, just what fits for your company. And I think that's where a lot of the value add is when small companies see cyber or don't even understand what that is, that that's not for me. I don't have billions of dollars like Chase or the big guys that they call it have to spend on. I said, well, that's great, but guess what? It's the beauty of this economy, right? There's always something else that will work for you for where you are and as you grow. So that attention, okay, it's manageable, right? And then as you grow, we help you mature into it as well. I could be hold there if you let me.
Thank you, Regine. So when I think you mentioned the whole implication of third parties, right? Most organizations, I think when we were speaking earlier today, there was a conversation about third-party risk. And many organizations, they spend a lot of time protecting their infrastructure. What are some of the risks that you're seeing in the industry from a third party? And how do you help your clients be able to address the risk from the third-party side?
I think a lot of it is just not understanding the ecosystem of what role this supplier or vendor or third party plays for them, and understanding really mapping out, having a strong third party risk management program, right? It's funny because the other day we got called into one and I'm like, I'm so happy because now we help put it in place and now they're moving along in process, right? It gives you that sense, oh, if someone is listening. So it's really classifying a lot of, well, start first. I find of vendors, right, that they have. And the larger they have, the larger, a lot more vendors that they do have. And once we really understand and then we classify that, meaning that tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, really is this, the biggest part is this vendor still supporting us? So just like a legacy system, you can have legacy vendors, right? And then they still have access to your system. No one really offboarded them properly. We depend on what they were doing. Is there data that needs to be transferred back? So we see a lot of first, right? It's cleaning house, as I call it, because once they're clean out, they have more visibility into really who matters. And now let's look at what do you support, and then in that sense, help them. That helps them see and then assess, because everyone has an assessment depending on the tier, right? Depends on your involvement, depending on the extent of your contract. So with that being said, once they understand there's different layers of assessments that we come in and do and help them assess the vendor. And then from then on, depending on the answers, what's the next step, right? What some of the new regular contracting languages they would have in place, right? A lot of, we see that a lot with the healthcare industry, and finance is another one that's trailing right behind, right? If not ahead of it, but where you see a lot of the movement is in healthcare. And we've seen a lot of some of these breaches happening recently, right? Because of third parties supporting their infrastructure as it is. So process, there's a lot more, but those are the top things that for them is that visibility, right? Because we're just like legacy system is just the same. I have vendors that still have access to my system, but I no longer used them 2-3 years ago. So there's no real process on offboarding them, the same way they did with onboarding.
So we've seen, like, within the industry, we've seen a lot of effort around the role of the CISO, right? And being responsible for incidents and being able to communicate. Many organizations, we've seen it even from a regulatory perspective. The SEC have started to step up enforcement after the SolarWinds incident to keep CISOs accountable. What are some of the challenges you think CISOs have today in trying to meet those business needs? And what are some of the steps that you do to work with those CISOs to kind of help them and prepare them to communicate that risk to the board?
Oh, that's a heavy question. It requires a lot of thinking, but it's just like everything else, right? It's just you're dealing with fire. We call it fire, right? They're fire drill, they're firemen. They're dealing with that every day. So the first thing we do, we're like explaining like the marshals that comes in and help them regroup, right? Be that outside advisor, eyes for them to see, okay, this is coming down the pipeline. It's already here. How does that fit into what you have already? Because we're seeing every other day there's changes to regulations. Just when you didn't do the SEC because of something else that happened, now you're under that umbrella as well, right? And as a healthcare, I'm just HIPAA, right? Well, there's requirements such as PCI, but then that's tied into other things that they have to do. So when you look at it, is really number one is understand, when we understand their business, the business itself, and what do they have to protect, right? Which is important. We look into providing them that information. Here's some regulation. Here's how we see it fits with you, because they will get all that information from inside out. And then the first thing is, how do I disseminate that? Then now, what does that mean to me? And as an advisor to them, I just don't say, hey, there's a new thing coming out, right? That doesn't help, right? We have to come in with a strong program information, steps to add that into their process or into what they're doing already, and then see where else that it fits into it. But again, resource is always an issue, right? And that's why we're here to provide that. So it's not just, hey, here, read this, right? So it's really being a true extension of the team that they have that's doing the research and bringing it back with actionable items and processes that they can start doing or implementing as part of what they do.
Okay. So I see you mentioned some standards and best practices. What are some of the frameworks and standards that you follow or you help your client to align with to be able to address cybersecurity risk?
So it all depends, right, in the industry that you're in. A lot with we hear a lot of directives, Department of Defense or the federal government, which will start coming in. So if you've heard of CMMC, which is the Cyber Security Maturity Model Certification, and that's just the certification, right? So now there's that process of the journey of getting there, right, to it. So the frameworks that we follow and also help our clients, right, depending on the space. In the healthcare industry, you're looking at HIPAA, PCI, depend on some of the fundings that they get. It may be FISMA if they're research, right, entity, a medical research firm. So they have different requirements depending on the where their funding's coming from. We've seen a lot of upcoming increase in requests for ISO, which I'm like, okay, no problem. But it's a lot of companies now, because they're vulnerable and understanding whether they want to follow a stringent guideline. So they like to use ISO because of their business, and then SOC as well. Right, the level, each one have to be explained, right? So you don't just go and get it done, but which way you are, right? And then the other one is GDPR, and it's I know, it's one of those things that we started talking about it prior to, but no, it doesn't matter to me. I'm like, okay, great. Guess what? You could shut your business down, right? Because we are a global economy, right? So we are seeing some of these high level one, and then if you go in education, you have GLBA, FISMA, all the requirements. But what we do and focus on is understanding the compliance and regulations and tying in the two together. I said the business and the technology, right? The techies. And now guess what? We're that bridge and or translator. I speak 4 languages. So there you go, right? So to translate, what does that mean, right? Fix this. Well, great. Do this. What does that really mean? And now what do I have already that can support that? So this is some of the high-level frameworks that we use and that we've seen a high request on as well.
Perfect. So when you think of like small businesses, what are some of the things that small businesses need to do on a day-to-day basis? What are some basic principles that you think small businesses and individuals trying to get into this space need to be mindful of?
I think one is the system, the operating system, right? And then also your employees, the culture. Let's go back. The culture of your company. Also understand why, right? Because the why and the culture will drive any initiative that you put in. We're seeing today cybersecurity is really becoming a culture-driven initiative, especially when you're looking at education, awareness training. What is it that needs to be done, and how do you do that so that your team members, employees, or staff continue putting that as part of their daily mindful thing? So really, in a small business environment, is really sitting down and understanding what role everyone plays in the company, the access that they have, which is very key and important, right? And then when you look at not just the access, and also too, who am I serving? What am I doing? So I think we can hone down on MFA, right? So multi-factor authentication as much as we're doing that a lot, but it's not out of the web. It is working. Some of the other things is we are paying attention, being vigilant, and having those educational awareness training with your team, and it doesn't cost, as you say, right? So there's different levels that you can do. And staying abreast, cybersecurity, your financial statement, your marketing, all these is becoming part of your business plan and part of what drives you to the next level. So you need to really pay attention and understanding to that and see what role you play. And listen to your clients too, your investors.
So from a small business, there's obviously a lot more risk, right? I think we've talked about it at the onset is, for a small business having a security incident easily, it could be that incident that, gets you out of business, right? Not just phishing or different capabilities. But from, we've seen a lot of effort around organization or, entities that are having to step up and take that responsibilities. from a presidential, we've seen presidential executive orders that is concerned about critical infrastructure. When you in your line of business, when you start looking at businesses, how do you have that conversation with small business about making that investment in cybersecurity? How do you approach that? Because we know that funds are limited, right? So how do you communicate that risk to that small business in terms of having to make that investment?
So, the first thing is, as I mentioned earlier, right? But the first thing is understanding your business and where you are. Because again, it's just like insurance. If you're not going to get the insurance of all that covers all when you have, or you have to get the insurance that follows, that is good for you, that fits your business. So the first thing that we do is, every time aren't you here for cybersecurity? I said, yeah, but you're not talking anything cyber. I said, of course I'm not, because I first have to understand your business. What is your kind of business? What do you do? Where you want to go? Who are your clients, your end users, right? And understanding that trail is what really helps them then help us have the right investment that they need to do. At the end of the day, depending on who your clients are, if it's a large corporation or the Department of Defense or federal government, you have to understand you have to get it done and you need to get it done. And we don't want you to start looking to do it when they actually kind of get you off a contract. And they've done it and seen it, right? And now, can you help me? I'm like, okay, well, what happened? They cut me off. They took me off the contract. Well, what can I say? Yes, we will help you, but now it's a longer hurdle to get back on that cycle, right? Remember, you're in a cycle, then you lose it. It's always that. So first step is to really understand your business. Where do you fit, your size? Where do you plan on going? Because it's not for just now, it's also for the future, right? So because remember that investment, you need to see what the ROI is over a period of time. And it's always, it can be it's a challenging issue, right? Challenging conversation to have, especially when it's not something you can see, right? But what I always say, the things that you can't see are the one that's harmful. So and we see that across the board. I think, I was somewhere in a small business mindset, but listening to a large corporation. I think JP Morgan or Chase spends $15 billion now. They went into their cyber and they tell you they're still not secure. And not because of anything, they're susceptible because you only need one person, right? You only need that one click, that one curiosity to do those things. So, and then we're also seeing it really doesn't matter what size you are. So, and it starts for the business because they're susceptible. Everyone knows they don't have the resources. If we keep thinking that way, we will never move the pendulum forward. You have to understand what role you play and where do you want to take this business? Why do you even start it? Sometimes I ask that question and they're like, why do you want to know? I said, no, I'm not the one who wants to know. I want you to know why you started it. Because if you can invest XYZ amount in marketing.
Excuse me. Thank you for coming on the Black Business Network. Is there a way for us to contact you?
Jean, how can people reach you? How can they reach out to you?
I told you I could do all day if you let me. So you can reach me out my website, rbadvisoryllc.com. Reach me in LinkedIn. It's probably the best way to find me and connect with me. My name, that you'll find my name there, and I look the same, so you will not miss me by any chance. And just connect, and then we can start a conversation there and see where we fit.
All right.
But thank you for inviting.
You're welcome. Remember, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the cash app that's on the screen below. $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank you. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for January 2024. NC 100, Moody Capital Partners, Sweet Soul, 5-Star BDM Media, Lotus Richer Coaching and Trading, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Hello LLC, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Malayan Shanyai Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Businesses Service, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and of course, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
I'm Ramon Ray, founder of Smart Hustle Magazine and smallbiztechnology.com.
You're here today to celebrate small business success. Stand up on your feet. You rocked the house. It was amazing. Didn't we learn? For me, success comes from failure. One thing not to do is shake somebody's hand like this.
Attention all entrepreneurs and companies. Are you looking for reliable and efficient virtual assistants and back office support to help you manage your business tasks? Look no further than Superwoman Business Services. Our team of virtual assistants provides a full range of administrative support services, including operations management, social media marketing, and much more. We also offer website design services to help you create a professional online presence that reflects your unique brand. In addition to administrative support and website design, we offer business development and structuring services to help you grow your business and achieve your goals. We'll work closely with you to identify areas of improvement and develop a customized plan to help you reach your full potential. At Superwoman Business Services, we understand that running a business can be overwhelming and time-consuming. That's why we're here to help you fly high and achieve success. Our virtual assistants are highly skilled, experienced, and dedicated to providing you with the support you need to thrive. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. Let us help you become the superhero entrepreneur you are meant to be. Contact Superwoman Business Services today to learn more about our back office support services.
Artist to me is a creative expression of something from nothing. You know, it explodes onto the canvas, or it explodes on in my work. One of the things that I try to do more than anything is I try to just give the lines and the movements and emotions and expressions into what I do. Art really means to me a chance to express how I feel deep down inside. Most of my art begins as a thought that I might have, you know, whether it's sports, whether it's history, whether it's a woman or a man. It pretty much starts as an idea of thought before I get into the actual image of what I'm going to draw. I do a lot of historical pieces. I was a history minor in college, and I love to do history pieces. And a lot of times I'm thinking about history, and then I try to make that history impact you as you look at it. That's one of the reasons I do pictures so large. People ask me, why do I do the pictures so big? And I tell them, I want the piece to impact them as they're looking at it, to kind of dominate them, to dominate their space. And most of my pieces I try to do off page. I don't try to do anything that's going to be in those four corners, or in a square. And I want your imagination to be a part of the piece that you're looking at.
Hello, I am Dr. Eric Kelly III, the visionary strategist and founder of the Black Business Olympics. I invite you to showcase your Black-owned businesses on the Black Business Network global stage. The Black Business Olympics is a global Black Business Network platform that propels Black-owned businesses into the international spotlight. By showcasing your business on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can reach a worldwide audience of potential customers, partners, and investors. You can also establish yourself as a thought leader and expert in your field, attract lucrative partnerships, and more speaking engagements. In addition, the Black Business Olympics platform provides a valuable opportunity to connect and collaborate with like-minded entrepreneurs and business professionals from around the world. This can lead to new business opportunities, ideas, and relationships. Finally, by sharing your story and expertise on the Black Business Olympics platform, you can inspire and empower others. This is a powerful way to make a positive impact on the world and leave a lasting legacy. If you are a Black-owned business owner, I encourage you to seize the opportunity to showcase your business on the Black Business Olympics platform. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make an indelible mark on the world. Be one of the 1,000 visionary entrepreneurs who are changing students' lives, shaping industries, and leaving an unforgettable legacy for their families. Unleash your voice on our global stage and watch your business thrive. Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Yes, the entire world. Just give me a call today at 919-308-9090.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090.
I am from Washington, D.C., but I was raised in Durham, North Carolina. I came to Durham when I was about 5 or 6, and then I traveled back and forth to D.C. because it's where my people are from. One of the unique things about my family is my mother, she's also an artist. She does quilting, and she does a lot of artistic things. And then My son, he draws with both hands, his right hand and his left hand like I do. So that's kind of a family trait. And then my other son, he's a videographer, and my daughter, she works, she's a regional vice president for Sunglass Lab. When you start out drawing and sketching, you want to continue to explore, each avenue. I do pastels, I do pen and ink, I do painting, I do acrylics. I haven't done oils yet, but I try to do all facets of art. What I say to a lot of times to people is, you can't put yourself in a box when you're an artist. You have to explore. And over the course of my life, I've tried to explore different mediums. I also do sculpture as well. I choose my subjects by the intensity that they have in their faces or the intensity that somebody is moving, because I do more than portrait drawings. I also do I do abstract, and then I do figurative drawing also. What happened in this particular show is that I started out trying to come up with something that would be a little bit different than what everybody else is doing. So I was working on a Barack Obama show, and they wanted me to do some paintings of Barack. And so what I did was, because of the deadlines, I kind of did it kind of fast. And then I realized when I was doing it fast, I enjoyed it. And so then I started doing other pieces the same way, and I started to enjoy those pieces also. And so I came up with this particular style, and it's a style of lines and colors. And what's interesting is that when I was in college, I did a show called Lines, Colors, and I talked about the boldness of the blacks, the hotness of the whites, and this is how this is.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is LeSean Wilson from the Global Kids Oratory Club. I'm your business moderator for this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the Magnificent Seven out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. The Magnificent Seven would be doing a fireside chat led by Carrie Jackson. And remember, genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, next up. So in the heart of Fayetteville and Cumberland County, a transformative program has set to take root, aiming to uplift disenfranchised businesses and foster their long-term success. The mission is clear: to equip new businesses with the tools and knowledge to navigate and overcome the barriers they face, whether it's access to food, housing, or other business market areas. The Magnificent Seven strives to create an inclusive and empowering environment for all. Central to the vision is the creation of a vibrant one-stop business shop tailored to the needs of the underserved communities. Within this ecosystem, they have Kathy Greggs of Fayetteville Pact, Jackie Elliott of Axis Granite Consultants, Dylan Dodson, Dodson Development, Jerome Bell of RAJJ Investments Properties Incorporated, Laura Hardy, CEO of Laura Hardy Insurance Firm. These individuals form the cornerstone of support and collaboration. Together, they will harness every available resource in alignment with their mission. Introducing to you the Magnificent Seven, empowering disenfranchised businesses for sustainable growth.
Oh,
Well,
thank you. Thank you, Carrie. That was a great introduction. I don't know. We might need to put her on a Magnificent Seven. No, I want to first thank you for allowing us to be here. I know it was short notice as we are about to launch our actual Magnificent Seven here in Fayetteville party March 9th. I also want to thank Dr. Kelly for the Black Business Expo, because this information needs to get out to everyone in the community everywhere, all over the nation, not just here in North Carolina. I am the CEO of Fayetteville Pact, and I kind of help create and build the milestone of Magnificent Seven. This group I have known and worked with for many years, not only in Fayetteville, but statewide as well, and some international work. So we have worked together for many years here in Fayetteville, trying to build a community with the ecosystems that we have and the money that we have locally. But I'm the CEO of Fayetteville Police Accountability Community Task Force, as well as the co-founder here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We started because, and still to this day, we have about 70% of Driving While Black here. So we decided to start something for police accountability. And luckily, I ran into all these people that was doing work already here in Fayetteville. And they were building a commodity with the community to make sure that, you know, information is out, education is given, and also resources is not just in certain areas, but in all areas, including the disenfranchised and demarginalized community. So I'm happy to be here.
Okay. So well, I think you already answered why you created the Magnificent Seven and what it represents. So based on the population in Fayetteville, why will only you do blueprints in Fayetteville or in other cities throughout North Carolina?
Well, right now we're going to see how this project go for the next 9 months. We start in the end of March. Actually, Jerome Bell has his first workshop that he'll be hosting here. He can tell you a little bit about how that's going to look upcoming weeks, but we're going to start it here, and then we'll probably go throughout the cities of North Carolina, because we noticed that a lot of generational wealth and the gap between Black and brown communities versus the white communities will probably decrease between the year now and 2030, where you won't see as many Black businesses and Black and brown owners here in Fayetteville, because of the quality of life is not really equal to the quality of giving a business or starting a business, or not even that, just the median alone and how much you make, you know, with the minimum wages. Magnificent Seven, though there's not 7 people, is because it's the 7 deadly sins. It represents all the sins that other businesses is not assisting with Black and brown villages. You know, back in the day, we had that village, and we have lost the village. And because of those 7 deadly sins, such as envy, lust, greed, is why we have not been able to build generational wealth. And that's not just in Fayetteville, but that's across the whole nation. So this is what we lack in the quality of life. And we want to make sure that people get this out and understand that generational wealth, you know, we have to do this. And not only that they matter, just because you live in a bad neighborhood, or just because you may not make but $15 an hour, or your kids are going through the school to prison pipeline, we want to come and pick you up and make sure you understand that we are here and we're going to help you get that generational wealth for free. Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to ask each business owner to actually introduce yourself, and then if you could answer the question on why you joined the Magnificent Seven and what you currently do for the community people now. Mr. Bell, can you go next?
Of course. Good evening and thank you. My name is Jerome Bell. I bought my first rental property when I was 22 years old, and it completely changed my life. And I've been screaming my story to everyone who's willing to listen, the power of investing, not just in real estate, but the power of investing as a whole. I firmly believe it's not knowledge until you give it away. So it's great if you learn something, but how many people are you teaching what you learned? And so I've been an avid um, an advocate for investing to my community, to everyone, everywhere I go. So to be a part of Magnificent Seven, where we're going to have the community come in and sit in front of us and give us the opportunity to empower them, that's the type of positivity I had to get on board with, and I'm completely honored that Kathy considered me to join this event here.
All right. Miss Laura Hardy.
Yes, yes, and thank you for having us on. Yes, really excited. When you talk about the Magnificent Seven, just thinking about that number seven. The number seven is a number of completion, and just so happy to see such like-minded people coming together to educate and empower the community. I know how much each of us have been able to accomplish independently. So there was no option when Kathy called and said what her idea was. And I'm excited because I know what I do is in my profession. By trade, I'm an insurance agent. And what I do is I educate and empower the community with the importance of insurance and how it plays a role in legacy and building a wealth for your future and your family. Life insurance, health insurance, investments, all kinds of different things that we're able to do, whether it's saving money, investing money. But I think that it's really important. And a lot of people don't realize until it's too late, until they're in a situation, and other things that tie in that we don't normally hear about. We all hear about or know about life insurance, but what really happens when someone dies? And a lot of times families that have property, they have monies, they have different things that they have stored up, they lose it at that time because they don't understand the importance of a will. They don't understand what really happens during probate. Sometimes there are individuals that may go through a loss and they don't know. And the reality is, if someone is in a lower income bracket, they're going to be even less exposed to that information. So for me to say, hey, we're going to take our time and our talents, go out, help these people, reach out to these people. No one's knocking down the door to try to get to people that may not necessarily have millions of dollars, but their contribution to the community is just as important. So I'm excited to be here, happy, love all these people and what they've done, and looking forward to see what we're going to be able to do and make it magnificent.
All right. Mr. Dodson.
Yes, thank you for having me up here. My name is Dylan Dodson, founder and CEO of Dodson Development. I am just glad to be a part of the Magnificent Seven. As everyone else said, Kathy, we all know her ideas are just the stuff that she can come up with, and to be able to put this on has just been amazing. And to be around a lot of elite, like-minded individuals has been amazing. We're all, we work together. Kathy just found us from, just like she said, just years of work. And honestly, we're all like family, just being able to build each other's businesses and then also be able to connect other individuals outside of the Magnificent Seven with our services that we have. I think when we talk about generational wealth, it's really important to own something. And Jerome talked about that, being able to have something, and as well as Laura talked about that as well, being able to pass something down to, I don't have any kids yet, but something to pass down to them as well. So I think being, just with everyone else on this group, it's really teaching me something that I didn't really know. And I think that because I'm young, I get a head start to be around so many of these great other individuals that are here on this call. They teach me so much. I learn so much. I mean, I get this every day. Like, I almost feel like I'm really lucky to be there, and I'm glad that at 25 years old I'm able to know them and continue to work with them.
All right, Miss Elliott.
Good evening, and once again, thank you for having us. When you hear the Magnificent Seven, you kind of think of a superhero, and we all need to have our capes, but we are just regular business entrepreneurs who have a heart and a passion for what we do. Main thing that we want to do, like was mentioned earlier, we have a passion to educate our people. We have so much to offer, and we have to understand that as a culture, we are the top consumers. But what are we spending our money on? What is it that we're leaving for our children's children? Because we have it, but we need to learn how to execute it. We are giving so much to this economy that we don't know the value of what the power that we have. And with this Magnificent Seven and the visionary that we have in Kathy, we are able to bring all of these ideas together and educate our people, because we diminish for lack of knowledge. There's so much knowledge. There's such a plethora of information that we can share, that we need to share, that we want to share with our people. And we do that through workshops. Like was mentioned, Jerome is coming on first. And then we have each month we're going to do and showcase each one of our businesses. Now, me, as the CEO of Access Granted, I find that we have a lot of people who are passionate about doing work for the community, but they do not know how to get their ideas out of their head and onto paper. So what I do with my organization is during the workshops, we have exercises just to get it out of paper. But the one thing I stress is that you have to operate with excellence and integrity, because people these days are looking for authenticity and the truth. And we don't want to ever lead anybody astray that with something that we're doing is illegal or unethical. And the knowledge that we have here amongst the Magnificent Seven is just that. We want to tell the truth. We want our people to know that, yes, you can. We want to be the catapult for their future, so they can leave a legacy for their children and their children's children, because that's what we're here for. That is what we're here for. I mean, we might tease and I know I tease my children and say, hey, I'm spending your inheritance. But the mere fact is, the truth is that I want them to see and know and learn the way to do it properly, not illegally or unethically. And that is what we are, the light to shine and show the communities in our area and the surrounding areas just how to do that. We are the caveat. We are the caveat. And we are here as the Magnificent Seven to do just that. And I joined because Kathy just knows, she handpicked each one of us, because her vision as a visionary is so profound that we all get along. We just love each other. We complement each other. And that is something that you rarely see in Black businesses. I promised I wasn't going to preach, but I'm just so passionate about this. We do not have that crab mentality. We sharpen each other's skills, and we know where to go to. And there is no talking about the 7 sins. We're going to smash them out of the box.
Wow.
I think I covered it.
Wow, smashing them out of the box. And I do believe you mentioned it already, but you plan on smashing them with workshops and seminars.
Yes.
Okay, who would like to go in more and please elaborate on these workshops and the different seminars that are going to be having?
Well, since
Well,
I'm
I
gonna
just
be
want
speaking
to.
first,
I'll
I
let
can tell you
Jerome. I'll
my
let
plan
Jerome
is one
start
thing.
first. Yeah, Jerome, you can tell him what you're going to do at your workshop that's coming up.
So, if you're gonna empower someone, we got to start at the basics. And when I think about the basics, the first things that come to mind as an investor, you got to have a budget. So my focus is going to be on preparing a budget and then a plan, and just emphasizing having a purpose every day that you wake up. To walk around without a plan is not living life, and you're definitely not taking your finances seriously. So that's going to be the focus of my workshop: budgeting and planning.
Okay. And I believe Laura's workshop is coming up after his in April.
Yeah. Yes. And so the same thing, just really seeing, and I always tell people it's not a cookie cutter. So you have to really meet people where they're at. I mean, there's some basics that, we'll tell them this is insurance. This is why it's important. But to really let people know, we need to sit down with you, take you through a financial plan to see where it is you're going, what your goals are, and how to help you achieve them. But what I typically do, even when I sit down with individuals now, is I'll say, we have, a risk assessment that we will do and see where you are, and then constantly work with you. We're not here to just come in one time, give you some information and go away. We're here to be there to make sure we let you know, hey, we're going to walk through this with you. If you need help getting from A to Z, we're not going to drop you off in the middle. And so I think that that's a message that I want to make sure I let people know in the workshops. We're giving you this information, but we're also going to be here to help you fulfill whatever it is that you're trying to achieve through our workshops as well.
And that's a good segue into my month of May for my workshop on how to start your nonprofit, how to start your LLC. Now, we all know that there's hustles all around. Everybody wants to have a side hustle and make money. But I'm here to tell you again, we have to do it legally. I cannot stress that enough. We want to do the craft. We want to do the hair. We want to do the nails. We want to do the craft part of it. But when it comes down to the paperwork and the back room and the business end of it, we kind of lose that. And that's where businesses fall apart, especially our businesses, because a lot of us, and depends on like my generation, we weren't taught to count them, to be accountable for the money. If we had it, we spent it, we kept it under a mattress or in a cookie jar. But when you get to being a business owner, you have to know the ins and outs. And so this is what I will be stressing in my May's workshop: the bare bones. And so I'm looking forward to educating people again to say, hey, let's turn this hobby into a business. And these are the ABCs and how to do it. And following up with them, like Laura said, we will not just leave you out there. We will follow you. We not necessarily hold your hand, but we are giving you the tools to use, and we will teach you how to use them. And that's coming up in May.
And I think that's a good lead into mine with once you get your business together, then being able to market and get it out. So that's with social media, with websites, with apps, with films, and that's what I do at Dots Development. So we're going to teach you those ways of depending on which route. Of course, it's always good to have a website, how you can get the website out, search engine optimization, being able for people to be able to find your business and be able to bring in those customers or whichever your service is, being able to also have some experiences when they're up there. We talk about the user experience, the user development. So we want people to have a nice experience when they go on your website. So we want them to see a video. We talk a lot about those videos, especially here with Black Business Expo. The network, you saw all those different videos, and it's really cool because you get to see all the different things that you all do. And that's really the most important part, is building your brand. And, your brand is a reflection of you. So we want to be able to film that part. And then the app part is the last part. being able to people to download on the phone, especially in 2024, there's an app for everything. And sometimes it can be a little bit of the information overload, honestly, but now you see you scanning QR codes. You're doing that all the time, and people like to be able to have that access on their phone. So being able to build the app for your brand.
Awesome. So as you see, we all fit together to make that puzzle beautifully colorful.
I'll tell you something though. Before we even go further, let's make sure we know that Jerome also does taxes, right? So, so when we're talking about money, he does the taxes too, right? So we kind of interrupted him in his tax season. So luckily he was able to come on board with us. And also, I've been very, very grateful to have all these people around me, to build me up even when I first started. Because like Laura Hardy, she's, would do my business consultant every year for Fayetteville PAC. She actually would do our strategic plan, how it looked, how we should go forward with it. And of course, Jerome Bell doing our, nonprofit stuff, for us as well to make sure our paperwork is together, like Jackie said, right? Legally. So, I've been with these people for so many years, but for Fayetteville PAC, our portion will be discussing, first of all, what is your definition and how do you define reimagining your own Black and brown neighborhoods? And what is your definition of liberation? Because everybody's definition of liberation is different from one to the other, right? So that's first part, because we see one person that says, yes, I'm making $33,000 a year. I'm liberated, right? And that's just all. After that, what happens? I mean, at the end of the day, people are dying every day. Every day we're spending money in places that don't want us to be spending money at or even working at, let alone building our own networks then, right? In that community. Look at Black Wall Street. Look at how it looked back then. We're still in the same place, right? So we got to first define what liberation looks like to an individual, because your liberation may not be my liberation. Right. And then we also got to define, how do we see each other? What can we see in each other? I just happen to come to these groups in these areas, even with Jackie working with reentry and making sure that we had money for the reentry program here in Cumberland County because they lost it. Right. So working with her back and forth on things like that is what I'm trying to say. We connected together. So we got to get everybody back connected together. But we got to make sure that we understand something. The 7 deadly sins is what's killing us right now. Greed, envy, because you're jealous of another person because they got better business than you. No, let's help each other. Let's help build each other, because right now we're dying every day. And we're not going to make it. We're going to become non-existent if we don't build together and understand that even though that mother that's a single mom and she only makes $8 an hour, she may be that one to be able to do the social media, while she's at home with, behind closed doors to help build other businesses and make money and craft her own LLC. So we got to make sure we understand everybody has a skill. Everybody has a gift, and we can't just leave them behind. We got to pull them up. Just because you make $85,000 a year doesn't mean, like Jerome said, you're budgeting. Doesn't mean you're investing. Doesn't even mean you understand the quality of $1. But also, Fayetteville PAC had observed the Black and brown community here in Fayetteville for over 7 years. And Mr. X, which is our strategic planner here on our board, he wrote up a paper called Black and White Paper of Fayetteville. In that research for the last 8 years, us being a tier 1, which is below the poverty level, even after 2012, we're still below the poverty level, okay, as a tier 1. The infrastructure have been built, but it has been built around us. It hasn't been built in the communities that where it's needed, where the gut is needed. You have 2 or 3 Black businesses that's only making here no more than $75,000 a year, okay? And then we're not talking about the traditional businesses, the ones that your mother had and pass it down to you. We're talking about business owners that just started in COVID and they shut down, right? So the net worth is what we're talking about. And how does it look for liberation? But the Black and brown quality of life, when it comes to environmental, when it comes to the ecosystems of criminal justice, when it comes to the systems of not being able to get back in society, integration back from that Cumberland County Detention Center, the school to prison pipeline, the things that we struggle with every day in our Black and brown communities, how do we leave those ecosystems to build? Okay, and Fayetteville PAC, Mr. X said the quality of life of Black and brown will decrease 25% every year after 2024 based on what's being built around us, and because people won't be able to afford where they're living at. So they're going to have to leave Fayetteville. They're going to have to go to other places, maybe further down south, less money, less, where they can get entrepreneurship, when they can build their own or buy their own acres of land. because people don't even look at land and little properties, because those little properties mean something. When you die, your children sells your house, and that house is worth billions of dollars because of what they built around it, but they sold the house for only $33,000, right? We see that all the time. So we need to start getting into our mindset where we want to not only start something here, but make it international, make it global. Because right now we don't have 100 Black billionaires, global enterprises, nowhere. Let's make sure we're clear. Now that's the truth, and that's what we'll be talking about in these rooms. We're not going to take away the truth. We do not have that continuity enough to say we can go and have our own country at this point.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And that's rebuilding Black Wall Street.
Yes. I don't know. I think she's trying to come back in. But go ahead, Laura, say something.
Okay. She's gonna say something. Everybody, I'm excited. I really am. I'm excited.
Oh, here she comes. We got the moderator back.
We got a moderator. We about to make up something.
Yeah. we were gonna ad lib. Do it.
Yes. But I think we all are really excited about this, and to see, and the community is going to be excited. They're starting to hear about it, and once we do the launch and have the first session and everyone really sees what it is, I think they have a little idea, because when they see who is involved, they kind of know. They our immediate community for sure, they kind of know what it's about, but just to really see what all we're going to be able to bring to them, because it's a lot, even just hearing our intros. I mean, it's a lot to say, hey, this is a lot of information, and everyone in a professional capacity is just doing this in kind to help the community.
Yep.
And that's a great thing right there. Yeah, but we're gonna grow. We're gonna have to get our super capes on and get ready to do some work.
You always have a super cape on, Jackie.
The Magnificent Seven. Yes.
Yes, and leaving and making sure that we're not just having conversations, making sure, like Laura said, making sure we are leaving those tools, those resources, and we're going to make sure we follow back up with those individuals that we speak to say, hey, where are you at here? Where are you at there? What else do you need assistance with? What else what resources can we give you? We won't just tuck them in. That's why we say we're going to try to hammer out these 7 deadly sins where everybody just keeping everything in and no one else is getting the wealth. Like, it's so much out there that we're just not getting because we don't have the resources or the people around you to show you how to get it. And that's the thing. People got to help each other show how to get it. Just like Laura Hardy showed Fabio Pack how we could be successful from the beginning of 2017. Boom. This is what I think y'all should do. And every year we met to see how we should be, going further. So having those conversations and sitting down with business people. And then we have people that don't want to pay for the services like, consulting and everything else, which, okay, I understand that, money costs money to invest, but you got to invest in yourself as well. So that's also something, but we're looking at helping the people that is left behind, the people that no one's thinking about, the people that's in the back, the people that's not even thought of, blind, deaf, all those skills that is actually not being used that we can build up to use, and help them get somewhere where they can provide for their families and themselves. And luckily we have somebody young like Dylan on here to discuss how he got his own business.
And one thing I like about what Kathy said is that a lot of people dream and they do have a vision. They just do not know which direction to go in. And they feel because of their circumstances, because of their environment, that they may not be able to, they feel they can't do it. Oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that, oh, I have so much on my plate, or I have 8 kids, or I have this. But we are all dreamers and we can make a difference. And one thing, again, with what Laura said, our reputation individually, because of who we are in our local community, people know when they talk to Laura, they know what to expect. When they talk to Kathy, they know what to expect. Same thing with Jerome and I, and Dylan is the same way. And so they know we don't play. And when we're coming out on our launch party, we're serious about what we're doing and the importance of it. And you can do this. You can do this. Somebody had to push me. We all started we all started out as a seed.
Yes, we
Growing.
did. Yes, we
We're
did.
growing, and we're growing together. Somebody had to water those seeds. And what we want to do is reach out and plant those seeds in the minds of our communities. So no entrepreneur, no dream can go untold. We're dream releases. Yes.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
We're dream releases, because even if they don't get, but so far, we've planted that seed in them.
Yes.
And we're nurturing that seed in them. And just like we're doing with each other, so that therefore they will grow, and then they'll see that they do have it in them. We're just going to stir it up and dig it up out of them and get them started on their way.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And I'm so happy that you guys are a part of it. And, I'm looking forward to, everybody's workshop. I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody do, with the people, especially in the areas that no one goes to in Fayetteville, because Fayetteville Pack don't mind. We'll go to those neighborhoods, talk to them pimps, talk to those prostitutes, talk to those mothers that may be on drugs right then, So we have these conversations. We went to hotels. We went to see how much people were paying here just on Bragg Boulevard every night, $70 a night, with 3 or 4 kids in one room, so we got to see exactly what everyone's struggling with, even after COVID. Well, we still have COVID, but even after all the money was funneled through, we still have American Rescue Plan funds money that could be used now up until December 31st, 2024. And Dylan, helped us make this movie to show people how this can look if we don't take this money from the government, because it goes right back into the government's pot. And everybody that could have had money, or everybody that could have took the money, or the infrastructures in the areas that could have utilized it, it'll just go back in the federal pot. And that money is gone, and when you look back even at the state, our state has over $32 billion, as a rainy day fund by itself. So that money could be utilized now to assist with generational wealth. But we see a lot of seminars, a lot of workshops going on. We even see TikTok. We even see, the little short videos on YouTube showing you how they got money and everything else. But the question is it legal? And like, how much net worth are we talking? Because everybody's not telling the truth when you look on paper versus when someone's talking, right? So, you could always go to the IRS and say, oh, let me see how much money they made, right? And then you'll know, like, if they get arrested, if that was true, right? So it's sad, but this is what we're going into. It's really sad, but this is really real. And this is conversations that we got to be real with, because I could watch a TikTok video and say, oh my God, that's dope. I'm going to do exactly what they're going to do. And next thing you know, you in jail, right? Or, yeah, this looked good, but I didn't do the paperwork, so I didn't claim none of this, so I'm going to jail. So we got to be real careful, like Jackie said, of the legal part, because I'm going to tell you now, there's over 435 businesses in Fayetteville that is of color that they claim and identify, right, through census. However, none of them's making over 120,000 a year. They're pushing buttons. They're trying to use family members to still keep the business going, but at the same time, not having to pay the health care, the dental. Then you got to think about, you have to think about workers' comp. You have to think about if someone has a lawsuit against you that you work for, and then retirement. So all that comes together. And, if you're not legit, it's going to come out eventually, and your business will have to shut down because you're not able to give out that money, that payment, but at the same time, why not create your own generational wealth? So that $20 that you was going to use for McDonald's, you could have put that into investment. Right. That $30 for that weekend that you was going to the movies, when you could live stream it at home for $4.99, right? You could have put that into an investment, Because right now there's so many different Apple, Microsoft, you could just put $5 in there and make some money, right? So we got to show the littlest things. Like instead of you going to buy those Air Jordans that's $300 or Trump shoes that's $4,000, let's go and get some money to where when you pass it on, you're building something for not only yourself, but also your children. And it's so hard nowadays, and I understand because 2024, people didn't even go back to work. You know, this generation don't want to work. It's a lot of things going on mentally. It's a lot of struggle. And I believe COVID caused a lot of distractions and still causing distractions. But the environmental and how's everything going, it can cloud your judgment on should I start this or should not, or should I wait? But at the same time, we spending money at a concert that's $3,000 just for that 2 days.
Right.
Where they want you to wear certain outfits, certain clothes, colors.
Yeah, or you're willing to go buy that BMW or that Mercedes, which, by the way, if you go back and look at the data, they charge Black and brown people 50% more to buy a BMW or Mercedes, which was a lawsuit 4 years ago. So, you know, we can go buy those nice cars, and once we take it off, it's really only worth $20,000, but you spend $80,000. But that's the reality of it. And I want to make sure we have these reality conversations, not conversations of, guess what? I got a C3. I made this much money off of it. And this is how much money I'm going to use to make more money. No, we got to have the conversations, the in-between conversation, right? The in-between conversation. You spent $2,000 on one weekend, and now you got to wait for your next paycheck to feed your kids. That conversation. Or how do you get out of the government system to have SNAP, to have EBT, or Medicare, or Medicaid? How do you get out of those systems? Because if those systems fail, or those systems don't want to give us or serve us anymore, where do you go from there?
Absolutely.
That's right. Now, I want to ask, I want Laura Hardy, because I think Carrie's having some issues, but I want Laura Hardy to go into how it would look coming up when it comes to the future of youth, like Dylan, 24 years old, right? Dylan, are you 24?
And I just turned 25.
Oh, okay.
He said 25.
Woo! He's 25.
Yes.
So I want Laura Hardy to talk about that, because Laura Hardy also helps with the senior citizen assistant living on that part. So I kind of want to hear how it looks in the future when it comes to senior citizen, because we see it all the time, Laura, of how Social Security retirement is going to go down, and how you need to go back to work to the age of 78 now. So I just want to know how does it look when it comes to senior citizens?
Right. And so what I would say, starting with, say, someone Dylan's age, you're young, just coming out of college, just starting your career, you have to put something away for yourself. You can't depend on anyone or anything else other than what you have put together for yourself. So whether it's an IRA or whether a mutual fund, stocks, whatever it is you want to put in your portfolio, you need to make sure that is something that you put together yourself. Because a lot of people, and in past generations, they depended on a pension. You get a good job, you work at a company, you work 30 years, 40 years, they're going to pay you for the rest of your life. Those days are over. Even if it's the government, even if it's the state, it's still not guaranteed. And that's what I tell a lot of young people. It's not guaranteed. Now we're going to say, okay, well, the government's going to pay you, let's the whole government collapse. But what if it does? You have to have some money to get a plane to get out of here to go to somewhere else, right? But no, I mean, for real. And I would tell them that it's just that serious. But if you think about it, because the government, let's just say the government's not going to shut down, but the government could say, what? We're going to give you less. You're barely making it. Everyone, if you retire and you say, okay, I'm counting on this, I know I'm going to get this $3,000 a month in my Social Security. And then they say, well, we can't pay everybody, so now we're just going to pay you $1,500. So that's the importance of knowing where you are and making sure you put something away for yourself so that you can control it. same conversation I have with people about their life insurance. If you work for a company and they offer you life insurance, it's normally very inexpensive. Take it. But make sure you have something that you control that's in your cabinet. So therefore, if they change their mind and decide they don't want you to be there, or you don't want to be there, or they're not going to offer it anymore, you're not at a disadvantage. The statistics that we had done last year showed that by the year 2030 in our the Fayetteville metropolitan area surrounding counties, there are going to be more people over 65 than under 18.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, as the population ages, we're going to start to see an even stronger shift. So it may put people in your generation at a disadvantage as well, because you're saying, well, there's certain things that you're interested in, certain things that you like, certain things like technology. A lot of older people don't like it. So you may have to look at, hey, where am I really going to structure my business? What is it going to look like for me? Because say I'm 52, well, I'll be 52 at the end of the month, but I'm 52. So I can talk to someone that's 30, but I can also talk to someone that's 70. There are things that when I sit down with a senior, I say certain things, kind of little triggers, like we talk about. You remember the phone, the rotary phone or whatever? You have no idea what that is. You're like, what is she
I
talking
remember.
about?
I remember.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Don't know what that is.
No, but you got to think about it now. You have these people that you don't necessarily naturally know how to communicate with. That's your business. Those are the people that have the money. There are going to be more of them than people in your generation. Because remember, they were having 10, 15 children. In your generation, they're having one, maybe two.
Yep.
So that's where all the money is. That's where it's going to be. So for your business, if you say, hey, let me do some research. Let me try to find out. And I do that all the time. I laugh because it's really funny, but people love when you're talking to, and Kathy knows, when you're talking to military people, they love to know a little something. Now, you didn't serve in the military, so they know you're not going to know what they know. But when I talk, what I say, Kathy, I said, talk about SGLI and VGLI.
Yeah.
I said, they used to call it ACAP. They were like, yes, she knows something. But that gives you an in talking to people to find a way to connect.
Right.
If you have a way to connect. If you're talking to someone from a metropolitan area, there are certain things. If you're talking to someone from a rural area. So in connecting your generation to the senior, you're not going to know. And they know you're not going to know. But if you say, I know my grandma used to say, or my grandpa used to, that will really, because you think about it, these people are the people that have the $1 million annuities. They have hey, I don't know nothing about that computer thing, but my grandson was saying he might want to get something started. I give him the money if you can help him out, but I don't know nothing about that. You remind me of my grandpa. Let me tell you why. But that kind of stuff, and I think it's just connecting, and that's something that's going to be a strength in what we're doing here too, because that's all we're doing is connecting with people. We're talking to people, connecting with them. They know. For Kathy and them to go out and really in the community. I'm talking about in the community, not in a little safe space and a couple people come and you drink some tea and be cute. No, you going to the place where the homeless people are. You're sleeping out there with them. They know she's not homeless. They know she has a nice house. They know she has a career. She's retired, but they know she has to care enough to want to connect with us. Jackie was going around talking to these people about rent. Now, someone else, $1,500 a month in rent might not be a lot, but you're thinking you went up from $1,200 to $1,500, and most of these people only receive $1,500 a month total.
Mm-hmm.
But that is I think that's going to be the strength in your generation and the senior generation, and we're here to help. We'll help you be able to do that, because you know what, the fact that you do remind someone of their grandson is going to be something that's going to be beneficial to them as well.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's a very good point, because I'm always talking about us baby boomers
Excuse me.
business.
Yes.
This was an outstanding conversation. Would there be a way for us to contact each of you?
Yes.
Dylan.
Yeah.
You said to contact us? I kind of.
Yeah.
Yes.
He wants you to state the best way for someone to contact you if they want to contact.
Oh, to contact us. Okay, I was confused. Yeah. You can reach out to us. You can reach out to. I can put my email in the chat, but in general, just to reach out at contact at dotson-development.com is the best way to reach out to me personally, or Dylan at dotson-development.com. Or the two.
Yes. And you can reach out to Fayetteville Pack anytime at www.fayettevillepAC.com. And then we're also on Facebook, Instagram as well. And I'll let Jackie go.
And I access granted consultant.com is my website. And you can reach me at any of the other platforms, social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and at accessgranted.com, or my email address is jb.accessgranted@gmail.com. So we do have you can't miss us. Laura.
Yes. Laura Hardy. My website is Hardy, HARDY Group NC as in North Carolina.com. And that is the website you can go on, see everything we do, we offer, and you could also schedule a time if someone wanted to talk.
All right. And remember, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App that's on the screen below. $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for January 2024. NC 100, Moody Capital Partners, Sweet Soul, 5-Star BDM Media, Lotus Richer Coaching and Training, Carolina Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Hello LLC, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Malayan Shani Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman's Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and of course, Black Business Expo USA. And remember, geniuses is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Absolutely. So our coaching program help people that have the lack of time, that lack strategies, and lack the confidence to go after their dream life. So we help them implement tools. We help them implement, I love to leave the inherited lack of finances or the education behind finances. But it wasn't until I lost my firstborn, my only son, that life changed for me. And where I was going after it all, living the corporate life, hit my 6-figure income, and living in my dream house with my dream man, driving my dream car. Wow. I nearly lost it all when I lost my son. And so I realized it only takes one financial catastrophe that can change your entire life. That's what made me start All New Beginnings. Because no matter what's going on in life, there's a new beginning. And because of that, we develop a program called Wise Minded. My little slogan is, don't just dream it, let's live it. If they want to connect with you or work with you, what is the best ways for them to be able to do that? Well, for my social media guru, you can connect with me on every single social media platform as Tanya T. Rose.
Artist to me is a creative expression of something from nothing. You know, it explodes onto the canvas, or it explodes on in my work. One of the things that I try to do more than anything is I try to just give the lines and the movements and emotions and expressions into to what I do. Art really means to me a chance to express how I feel deep down inside. Most of my art begins as a thought that I might have, you know, whether it's sports, whether it's history, whether it's a woman or a man. It pretty much starts as an idea of thought before I get into the actual image of what I'm going to draw. I do a lot of historical pieces. I was a history minor in college, and I love to do history pieces. And a lot of times I'm thinking about history, and then I try to make that history impact you as you look at it. That's one of the reasons I do pictures so large. People ask me, why do I do the pictures so big? And I tell them, I want the piece to impact them as they're looking at it, to kind of dominate them, dominate their space. And most of my pieces I try to do off page. I don't try to do anything that's going to be in those four corners or in a square. And I want your imagination to be a part of the piece that you're looking at.